Hello and welcome to the BMI Baby Elite Ice Hockey League here on Sky Sports, where the Coventry Blaze host the Sheffield Steelers. Hello folks, well the defending league champions Coventry Blaze are currently 10 points adrift of the league leaders, the Sheffield Steelers. However, they do have 3 games in hand, and all cliches aside, this is a must-win for the Blaze if they are to have any hope of keeping their name on that league title trophy. Alongside of me is Dave Sims. Dave, you must be pretty nervous for this one, eh?
I got up this morning, Nick, and the wife had got a string of jobs for me to do. She just didn't realise this was the day of a big game. She should have just left me alone to prepare. You know, I hope this game is as good as you and I have been making it out to people. It's first versus second. It could well be a championship deciding game. It's that big. If Sheffield were to win here in regulation, you have to say it's a mighty uphill task for the Coventry Blaze, the Belfast Giants then, to catch Sheffield. But if Paul Thompson and his Blaze team can turn it around, that 4-point swing, especially as these two teams would face each other on another 2 occasions, well, then it's anybody's title.
Well, we talk about the Coventry Blaze right now going through a particularly good run of form. They're playing really good hockey. The Sheffield Steelers have been consistent throughout the whole season. They find a way to win ugly even on the road.
Only 3 regulation losses, and 2 of those have been in Sheffield. Only 1 regulation loss on the road for the Sheffield Steelers this year, and that was their very first game against the Nottingham Panthers. The Coventry Blaze, 7 straight wins. Last team to beat them was Sheffield here in overtime here at the Sky Dome. So since Paul Thompson's made those changes, since Forsyth has come in at the back end, Yarmison has come in, they got rid of Leclerc. Why they kept him so long, God only knows. Why, you know, they should have made their changes earlier, in my opinion. But since they have made those changes, Coventry have really become a much better team.
Now, I know you and I, every once in a while, we do have a night off and we come and watch hockey. And last year, about this time of year, I think we both ended up at this arena, and we saw what happened in that game.
Well, we saw the Sheffield Steelers get shellacked. I remember your dad saying, this isn't hockey, when you brought him down to the rink, and Sheffield lost 7-1. And this is a rink that any team can get shellacked in, because Coventry tonight, Nick, you've seen it, I've seen it. The first 5 minutes, the first 6 minutes here at the Sky Dome, Coventry just come at you, and when they do that, they can start getting a lead. Sheffield have got to be careful in that opening spell.
Okay, well, it's time now for you, Dave, to bring us through some of the highlights from Saturday's games.
2 games in 2 nights at the Odyssey Arena. Here's game 1, or should I say round 1. Wearing white, Jason Rushton, the new import signing of the Belfast Giants, sporting a new Mohican, and of course in black, wearing 9, our old favourite, the Wild Thing, Andre Payet. These 2 characters would get it on at the start of the game, the end of the game, the middle of the game, and in fact Rushton, though, with the early advantage. He wins bout 1, or so he thinks. There was more to come, though. Let's get back to hockey action. A rush from the Belfast Giants. Who's joining the play? It's Tyler Howells. He goes 5-hole on Werner. He scores his 12th of the season at 7:36. Giants lead 1-0. More was to follow. Burgoyne over Werner's shoulder. He made it 2-0. 10th of the season for Burgoyne. Too much hockey action. We need another fight. Here we go. It's round 2. Rushton and Payet again. More of a wrestle this time, but Payet's strength eventually forces Rushton to the ice. Payet and Rushton talking. Wouldn't want to be a timekeeper, would you? Anyway, Steve Thornton's made it 3-0 to Belfast, but the Newcastle Vipers are just about to get on the scoreboard. 2nd of the season for Chris McAllister. Breakaway goal, though. Andrew Martin, it's short-handed. It trickles over Werner. He makes it 4-1 at 50-51. Then Rushton jumps Payet in the corner. In comes Derek Campbell. In comes the whole of the Belfast team, joined by the Newcastle team. Derek Campbell was to get a match penalty, 3rd man in. Rushton as well. Hey, shall we go to the peace and tranquility of the NIC in Nottingham? I think so. It's the Manchester Phoenix are in town. Remember, Manchester upset Nottingham, and it was 1-0 early doors. Luke Fulgram's 25th of the year for the Phoenix in Nottingham. And could it be deja vu? Could the same be happening again? Into the 2nd period, a turnover. Manchester lose the puck. Who's Johnny on the spot? Big Kevin Bergin. He shoots and scores. And we're tied at 1 apiece. Into the 3rd period, must-win game for the Nottingham Panthers if their championship hopes are to stay alive. And what a welcome sight, the return of the white skate. Moline back after injury, and he feeds James Ferreira, an unlikely scorer. 4th of the season for Ferreira. He makes it 2-1. 77 there, Corey Nelson. He was to be influential power play as the game came to a conclusion. The puck's going to come back to the point. There's Nelson, fast through traffic. Murphy doesn't see it. A kiss to the crowd for Corey Nelson. His team leads by 3-1. See Stephen Murphy, just leave your screen there. In the dying seconds of this game at the NIC, Manchester have pulled the goal lead. The extra attacker is on. And that extra attacker, Lucas Burnett, 3-2. And that's how the scoreline finished. We are now in Hull, where the Coventry Blaze, well, they've got a tough weekend. Tonight's game against the Steelers, but on Saturday night they needed Russ Cowley to be at his best, and a wraparound Cowley made it 1-0, ninth of the season for Cowley. He should score more goals. Come on, Russ, get on the scoreboard a little bit more. The Hull Stingrays, though, are made of sterner stuff these days. And this time it wasn't left to Cal McCuffin Glower. It was Lee Mitchell, 8th of the season. We're still in the first half of the first period, and it's 1-1. The Stingrays lose control of the puck. Keep your eyes on the bottom of the screen. 18, Barry Moore. How do you like it? How do you like it? More. 8:19 gone. That was all the scoring in the first period. Blaze lead on the road, 2-1. Power play for the Coventry Blaze. In the 27th minute, Blaze looking to extend their lead. Third best power play in the league on the road, and Danny Stewart does good work. Forsyth shoots and scores. Good goal. And it's 3-1 for the Blaze. That really should have been game, set and match, and the Blaze of old would have just shut the door. But here comes the Stingrays again. If at first you don't succeed, you'll get a second, third bite of the cherry. Stingrays are persistent. They've got the Coventry Blaze pinned in their own zone. Perez makes a save, rebound falls, James Cook makes it 3-2. The Hull Ice Arena is a difficult place to come and play now. But Russ Cowley, we said, score more goals, and Russ Cowley was to be influential in the next couple of minutes as well. 2-on-1 break. You'll see Cowley join the rush at the top of your screen there now, and Cowley gets the last touch on it. 10th of the year for Cowley. He made it 4-2. Perez making important saves in Hull. A fan shot, a 3-on-2 breakaway, and eventually Calder will be patient, and he finds Coulson. First shot saved by Cruikshank, second one backhanded, shoveled into the back of the net. And Dan Carlson, with his 19th of the year, makes it 5-2. That's how the scoring stayed until just 3 minutes to go. Got to show you this goal, though. This is a lovely effort from Danny Stewart, who always seems to score against the Hull Stingrays. He finished off the scoring, 6-2. Fancy a bit more fighting? I thought as much. Let's leave Hull and Coventry and head back off to Belfast. This was the second game. Let me tell you, the puck hasn't been dropped yet. It's at the 0-minute mark. And Payet is fighting Robbins. He's fighting Robbins because Rushton got suspended the night before. But keep your eye on Bobby Robbins. He's dislocated his shoulder in that fight as Payet challenges the bench. Once Payet was back out onto the ice, it was McMillan's turn to fight Payet. Belfast were trying to give Payet 3 fights in the opening 10 minutes and get him kicked out of the game. But Payet is a durable, tough, rugged character. 5 fights in the night, and you have to give it to Andre Payet. This time McMillan, Payet tells everybody in Belfast just who is number one. 2 fights down. So the Belfast fans weren't best pleased. They've lost their top forward to an injury. All they needed now was last year's player coach, who they don't like very much, to score. Have a guess what just happened? Ed Courtney made it 1-0 for the Vipers. Could the Vipers upset the Belfast Giants into the second period? Puck comes to the top. It's Davy Phillips. He steps inside. He shoots. He scores. And we're tied at 1. Phillips gets his 6th of the year. Talking of British defencemen, here's one of my favourites, Graham Walton. He must have had a nosebleed. He's never been that far up the ice in his life, but he made it 2-1 with his 3rd of the season. A super effort from Graham Walton. Well, if it was bad enough for the Belfast Giants with Courtney scoring, just think what it'd be like if, oh yes, Andre Payet scored. He did. He tied it at 2-2 and was the pie man. Happy. He was indeed, and told everybody in Belfast about it. I don't think he could afford to drink in Belfast that night. 2-2 then. Giants need a winner. It's going to come out to Evan Chevrier. Werner looked like he had it, but he didn't. Crept through the glove. Chevrier shoots and scores. 3-2. Newcastle have pulled Andrew Werner. We're in the dying seconds of this game. And Macmillan it is who breaks through and scores into an empty net for a final scoreline of 4-2. But look, Campbell's not interested at the face-off. He wants a drop as Shane Johnson. Shane Johnson's far too smart and far too clever to get involved. But then half of the Newcastle Vipers team decide they want a bit of Shane Johnson as well. Rob Wilson's right in there, giving you the impression he's trying to calm things down. Andre Payet decides he'll go over to Steve Thornton. Remember, this whole rivalry is about Payet and Thornton. We'll cut away from that for a second. We'll go back to it. Payet and Thornton. Graham Walton comes in. Martin comes in. And Payet still wants a bit of the whole Belfast bench. He, anyway, gets told to go and take an early shower in the dying seconds. Belfast win this one 4-2. I think there's a lot more to come, though, from the rivalry between the Vipers and the Belfast Giants.
And we can confirm those results from last Saturday. All the big four winning. And then, of course, in the British Knockout Cup, 9-1, a loss by Cardiff, 17-1 on aggregate, and we won't really talk about that, will we?
Well, Kevin Reiter not playing, of course, and the poor guys in goal there have been shellacked, haven't they, by the Cardiff Devils. Congratulations on them, they're in the final.
Right, and now we can have a look at the league table heading into this one, and as we mentioned, first playing third in the with a 10-point gap there, but the 3 games in hand, and things are still awfully tight at the top there.
You know, they say the league table doesn't lie in February, Nick, but you know what? It tells a few untruths. That's not a 10-point gap.
No.
That's a 4-point gap. A 6-point gap to Belfast, 4 points to Coventry, and that's what makes today so important. You know, that Hull-Edinburgh battle, though, what a battle that is down at the
that'll be
bottom.
right down to the wire, yeah.
Yeah, right for that final playoff spot.
Okay. All right, now, Dave, we've been watching warm-up here, and, you were maybe asking a few questions about what was going to go on, and you could see that one team out there is looking a little bit more relaxed right now. The Sheffield Steelers seem to have a little bit of a smile on their face. Maybe that's just because you're close to them, I don't know.
Probably so. They're always happy when they're around me, Nick.
Yeah.
I think Sheffield have come in here with a little bit of a bounce. They have got a little bit of confidence, and when I walked through the Coventry Blaze dressing room earlier, when I arrived here, I wouldn't say there's tension because that would be not right. But, you know, they certainly have got game face on. They know this is a must-win for them. Must-win for them.
Yeah, you saw Paul Thompson kind of more or less, he's trudging around in the changing room down there. He's got a purpose tonight, like he always does, but he's really got his game head on.
No, he knows. You know, I spoke to him this morning. He was watching his son play football. He says, my son's made 4 or 5 great saves. I haven't really spotted them. I just want to talk about my power play.
And he still had mud on his shoes
He
coming
did.
into the rink. All right, we can hear now from Dave Matzos and Paul Thompson.
Paul, these are the big games. These are the great nights. This is what we're all involved in this sport for.
Well, it doesn't get any bigger than this, Dave, does it? I mean, we're chasing the Steelers. They got a 10-point lead on us, and we've got 3 games in hand, and we have to make sure that we use this as a game in hand, and it's a 4-point swing if we can get the win. And we're looking forward to it. It's one of them games you wake up in the morning, it's the first thing you start thinking about, and I'm expecting us to answer the bell tonight.
Would it be too much to say that it is your season?
No, I don't think it's too much to say that. I think obviously there's ourselves, Belfast and Nottingham, still chasing the Steelers, but I think it'd be fair to say that, if we get a win tonight, it could start the jitters in the Steelers camp. Or if the Steelers get the win, it could start the jitters in our camp, and where do we go from here? So we can't leave anything in the room tonight. And,
I was doing my research this morning, as you do, in front of the computer, and you're on a good run, though. You haven't lost for 7 games in the league.
No, we are on a good run, and we kind of, everybody's talking about our wobble around Christmas time, and no one's really talking about how we've come out of it. But hopefully we'll do our talking on the ice tonight against a very, very good team.
And looking for those big players, your Coulson, Calders, and your Weavers to lead your team.
You know what, your big players have to turn up in nights like this, David, and I thought we did last time we played the Steelers here. We lost in overtime, but I do think we were the better team on the night. And the 2 games beforehand in Sheffield, we weren't even at the party. Sheffield, they won in every different area of the game, and tonight we've got to, we've got to throw everything at it, and we've got to be smart, and we've got to understand what wins games, and your big players have to turn up tonight, and tonight they have to be that.
Wish you all the best.
Cheers.
Dave, a huge game here at the Sky Dome. Is it a bigger game for the Coventry Blaze than the Steelers?
Well, I think so. Must win for Coventry. We know that. You certainly don't want to give up home points. So, no, equally valuable 2 points for us. But I think a little less pressure in a sense that we're coming into Coventry, and they just can't afford to be giving up home points.
And knowing how to win in this building as well. The Steelers did that in overtime only a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I think we stole one off them a few weeks ago. I thought they played a good brand of hockey, and definitely we're the better team. But at the end of the day, you find ways to win. If you can find ways to win on the road like that, you're a step ahead. So we're going to press for much of the same tonight. We want the 2 points as much as they do, but definitely think that they're going to come out hard and hungry. I mean, they need these points.
That last game against Coventry kind of triggered off a couple of changes. They brought in Yarmison and Forsyth. I know you came down here in the week and saw the Blaze play Belfast. What do you make of their new signings?
I like them. I like that good stay-at-home defenseman in Forsyth. He's put minimal numbers up, but he did his job. I mean, for me, a good stay-at-home defenseman kind of goes unnoticed. And in that game, he was very, very quiet. Just didn't turn pucks over. Was a very simple stay-at-home D-man, and I think that's a valuable asset to their team. And their Swedish guy is definitely a player that finds the ice well, and a lot of good passes on this team. And he got a lot of scoring chances that game that I came down to see, because he tends to circle away from the play, and you think that he's not going to be effective, and it's actually the complete opposite. He got quite a few scoring chances. 3
regulation defeats all season. Consistency has been the mark of the Steelers. That continues tonight, you think?
I hope so. Like I said, the plan is to come here, and we don't need to play a fancy road game. They're going to come out and they're going to press us as Coventry does, and we expect that. So, we did the best of the preparation that we could to come in tonight, and we'll see what happens.
And Dave wants to watch, first of all, for the Sheffield Steelers. Joey Talbot putting one up on the board on Saturday. Comes into this game extremely fast skater, extremely consistent, and he's just part of that buzzing forechecking group for the Sheffield Steelers.
Oh, he is. He's an outstanding player. He was the leading goal scorer for the Steelers last year. He's leading them again this season as well. Kills penalty, key on the power play, does a bit of everything, Joey Talbot. That's why he spent 4 years in Alaska, and it's hopefully why he's going to stay in Sheffield for a long time as well.
And perhaps one of the guys who's having an outstanding year is Sarich for the Sheffield Steelers. Probably day in and day out the best defenseman in the league.
Well, he does so much that people don't recognise. Everybody talks about just the super skill, but watch him tonight in the corners. He's a bull in the corners. He makes hits, he takes hits, and he still makes great plays. He has a tendency occasionally to overhandle, but you know what? The positives.
That was more last year. This year he's gone away from that. He's been a lot more steady this year.
Completely and utterly, he is outstanding, and the positives of Rod Sarich by far outweigh the negatives. He's been outstanding all season.
And definitely another guy who's an outstanding defenseman throughout the league, a guy who doesn't really like it when the Sky cameras come in here, because he says he doesn't play as well. But Jonathan Weaver, again, one of the best.
We've picked 2 great defensemen in Sarich and Weaver. I think Sarich has got about 40 points, Weaver's got about 50 points. Weaver is pivotal, absolutely pivotal to the Coventry Blaze. When they lost Martin and all the big names we'll talk about, I'm sure, during the commentary, Calder, Coulson and Weaver, it's absolutely key. And at the back end, especially with Paul Thompson not going down the 4 import defenseman route, it puts even more pressure on Weaver.
And up front, Sylvain Deschâtelet, who came in from last year from Cardiff, and this guy, he's putting some great numbers up, and he's one of those guys that he doesn't look as spectacular as his numbers are.
I would like to see Sylvain Deschâtelet lighted up here for Coventry tonight in a big game, because when you look at Deschâtelet's numbers, they are against Hull Bays and Stoke Edinburgh. They're against those bottom teams. Paul Thompson will want him to score against Belfast on Wednesday in the semi-final. He'll want him to score against Sheffield in this big game tonight. And Deschâtelet, like a lot of the secondary scoring from Coventry, has got to turn up in these big games. That's been the difference for Coventry this year. Where they had Cloutier last year, where they had Curtis Oppie last year, they haven't got that secondary scoring, or they haven't had it. Thompson will be expecting it and hoping for it tonight.
Okay, Dave, quick, first of all, a key for tonight's game. I think we both agree the first 10-15 minutes of this first period are going to be pivotal.
Sheffield are going to be tied just behind us here. Jody Lehman is going to be the best player on the ice in the first 10 minutes. If he is, Sheffield have got a hell of a chance.
Okay, I'm not even going to ask you for a prediction, because I'm sure I know what that would be. Anyway, join us after this break for the first period between the Coventry Blaze and the Sheffield Steelers.
We are at the Skydome Arena in Coventry for the biggest hockey game of the year. It's the Blaze against the Sheffield Steelers. Whilst you're thinking about it, get the remote, press record. You'll want to watch this one again and again. Nick, the best defence in the league right now, the Sheffield Steelers, led by the impressive Munn and Sarich.
Yeah, and Jody Lehman, the hottest goaltender right now as well in the league.
92.8% for Jody Lehman. Up front, though, goals are coming. 6 different scorers last night in the Steelers' victory over the Edinburgh Capitals. Ryan Finnerty, a gritty player, a man the Steelers will depend on tonight. Let's take a look at that starting lineup. Lehman in between the pipes, Sarich and Munn, Dowd centering Hewitt and Tate. Let's take a look at the Coventry Blaze. And a new defenseman in town, Blake Forsyth, for Jonathan Weaver, one of your favourites in your All-Star team.
One of my favourites, one of my all-time favourites in my All-Star team, and Forsyth, a good stay-at-home defenseman, good new signing for the Coventry Blaze.
You take a look on the right-hand side of your screen there, you see the name Adam Calder. He's the captain, he's the leader, he's the go-to guy, and they need goals from him tonight.
A lot of grit out of Adam Calder. He's going to be key, especially in the first 5 minutes.
And the Coventry Blaze will start off with Perez in between the pipes, Weaver and Forsyth, and then the gritty line, the grinding line, Stewart with Watkins and Cowley either side of them. There's Paul Thompson, a big puff of air. I don't think he'll thank the cameraman for that shot, showing the fortunes. There's Jody Lehman, though. He knows he's under pressure in the first 5 minutes of this period.
And do you know what, Dave? It's the kind of game that he loves. He's going to want to face a lot of rubber and get one in early.
Our referee is Tom Darnell, his linesman Chris Beck and Jimmy Kavanagh. And right off the bat, these two teams battling out at centre ice. Tate moves it along the boards. Weaver, though, gets his back to Forsyth. His first experience of one of these big crunch games. Dowd will try and get the puck in deep. He gets a second bite of it as well. Puck falls. Big save by Perez, coming from the shot of Ashley Tate. And Perez getting into the action bright and early.
Ashley Tate, he can shoot from anywhere, and it's always awkward and comes off the stick in weird angles. Gives goaltenders a real hard time picking up where the puck's going to come.
JF Perez, he's been under pressure, but in recent weeks he's made some big stops, and he's been a go-to guy for Coventry.
Yeah, here's that shot from Ashley Tate high in the slot, just comes up down low. Ashley Tate's so smart with the way he places pucks because he goes in down low, forces Perez to make a rebound save out, and Sheffield almost getting a second crack at it.
22 goals already for Ashley Tate in all competitions. Here's the big line for the Steelers. It's that Legui line that has Talbot on the right-hand side and the hard-working captain Phillips, who's battling with Jameson down there. Finishes on Jameson. Soderstrom moves the puck out to Watkins. Watkins can't clear at the first attempt. Gets it through centre ice to Dejanay, to Bassick. Bassick moves the puck forward. Icing waved off. Soderstrom will get there first. Phillips is all over him. Nice play by Soderstrom. The Swede just doesn't make mistakes. Cowley down the left-hand side. Bassick comes across, keeps him to the outside. Still with Ross Cowley. A minute gone already. First shot of the night comes in from Danny Stewart for the Coventry Blaze. Just a little wide. Stewart collects. Energy player Danny Stewart. He'll be somebody that Paul Thompson will want going. He'll want the energy that people like Stewart bring to the table.
Yeah, and the shot too, ripping up high. I'm sure that was sending a message to Jody Lehman. Keep your head up. 90
seconds gone. Weaver out for his second shift already. Dejanay almost gets caught by Calder, and therefore the pass to Legui was not a good one. Weaver goes rink wide to Forsyth. Heads up play down the left wing, misses out. Ison will be called. That's if Bassick can get there first. Lewis, though, beats him to the puck. A battle with Calder and Finnerty. Comes out to Weaver. Lets a hammer go. There's a rebound. What a super stop, Lehman. And then Nicky just got that poke check to it, didn't he? Weaver throws one at the ice. Now there's a breakaway. Cruikshank just couldn't control. End-to-end action here. And Cruikshank gives Perez a little bit of a slash as well. Not picked up by the referee. Carlson goes out to Calder. Calder shoots his best mate, Jody Lehman. Just deflects it into the netting over the plexiglass. Chances either end.
Either end. Carlisle Lewis, you saw him just driving in, giving both goalies getting a little knock. Cruikshank just missing to pick up that pass on the right up through the middle, and he just gives Perez a little shot. But then look at Lewis comes in, and he makes sure he gives Jody Lehman's glove a little tap, and I'm sure they have a couple words with each other.
Here's that earlier opportunity. It was Weaver.
And again, look at where they're shooting, guys. You know, I mean, Tate, Weaver, they're smart enough to shoot down low for rebounds.
And of course, it was that poke check, wasn't it, from Lehman on the second shot. Yarmison, the new signing for the Coventry Blaze, his third week with the club. Hewitt and O'Connor, both battling the corner, both battling for GB places as well for the trip to Poland in a few weeks' time. Dowd finishes on Hughes. Lehman comes out of his goal. Sarridge collects. Thomas just to his right-hand side, leaves it for Dowd. Dowd dipsy-doodles and overhandles and then gets away with it. And Mario O'Dowd, as they're starting to call him, goes end-to-end. Soderstrom takes him and finishes high on him. Here's Ashley Tate. Sarridge wants it. Tate still holding on to it. Needs some support down low. Is he going to get it from Hewitt? He does. Dowd and Soderstrom battling in the corner. Penalty going to come in, and it's going to be on the Coventry Blaze. It's going to be Ben O'Connor heading to the penalty box. The Sheffield Steelers are going on the power play.
Ben O'Connor taking a shot. A boarding call, I believe, is going to be called just behind JF Paras. And I'll tell you what, Dave Matsos is going to be a little bit upset with Dowd. Dowd did get the puck in, but he had two chances down low where I'm sure Dave Matsos will have a word with the youngster. Yes, he did get the puck down low, but Dave, taking chances earlier on like that in the zone, it's going to put the heart rate is going to go up a little bit or even higher than it is now, even though a guy like Dave Matsos doesn't show it.
No, Dave Matsos will have tapped the shoulder of young Robert Dowd there and said, you know what, if you're going to commit and play like that in the other end of the ice, but not in your defensive zone.
Not in your defensive zone, and not now. I mean, yeah, he got away with it, Dave, but if he didn't right now, he'd be riding the pine.
Wouldn't he ever? Legui, who jumps back onto the blue line for the Steelers when they're on the power play. The first unit has Sarridge alongside him. Here is Sarridge. Sarridge just walks past Cowley, still Sarridge. Pass one time at Legui, big shot from Jeff Legui. Perez got across, but I don't think he saw too much of it. Sarridge again moves the puck quickly. Cruikshank can't control. Forsyth has an easy out and chips all the way down behind the goal of Jody Lehman. 30 seconds already expired on this power play. Legui back to Sarridge, back to Legui. Legui with a spring in his step. Talbot is free at the back door. Here is Joey Talbot.
Oh.
Shot, and there's a chance out in front. Talbot again shoots and scores. Joey Talbot, power play goal. And the Sheffield Steelers, Joey Talbot's 9th power play goal of the season. Steelers take the early advantage. They lead 1-0.
Dave, you know, we said it before the game that the Sheffield Steelers just looked relaxed on the puck during warm-up, and you can see the way they're moving the puck around, especially on a power play, the man advantage. But Joe Talbot just looks so calm and cool. Look at this great pass from Legui, guys. Just sauces it across. One-timer from Talbot, but Talbot does what he has to do. Looks for the rebound, sends it in, and with Paras down low, he sends it up high over and gives the Sheffield Steelers a 1-0 lead on the power play.
50 points in all competition for Joey Talbot as he beats JF Paras. Power play strike. Jameson, though, tries to get the Blaze going with Coulson, the big man. Adam Calder, the go-to guy. There's a bit of afters with Munn and Calder, the 225s, two competitors. Soderstrom can't handle. Shepherd put him under pressure. Here comes Finnerty. Ryan Finnerty. Just Lewis hammers in the corner. A battle. Phillips goes in to help Finnerty. Jonathan Phillips comes out with it as well. Again, Lewis crushes Phillips. Steelers getting their feet moving, though, and keeping the puck moving. And, of course, Coventry then having trouble. They can't pin. Sheffield keep the puck in deep. Calder in a battle, and now he finishes this time on Munn. I spoke with Darnell, the referee, just before the start of the game. And I said, just let the players decide, and he's doing just that right now. Here's another chance out in front. Phillips at the back door. Can Phillips get one in? He can, and he scores! The Sheffield Steelers take a 2-0 lead. It's Ryan Finnerty. What a start. 2 in 5 minutes.
Dave, I was trying to get a word in there as Sheffield were really aggressive on that forecheck. And you could almost see how they were working the puck down low, keeping even numbers, and Coventry letting them do it. Paul Thompson's going to be so upset with his defensemen and his wingers for not coming back. And when Sheffield have possession like that down low, they need to be driven hard right off the puck. And Coventry were just letting Sheffield do it. Then to drive the melee in front of the net, Phillips just from behind, tucks it around, 2-0 to the Sheffield Steelers. Great start by the league leaders.
And Paul Thompson has called a timeout already. 5 minutes into the biggest game of the year. And the Coventry Blaze coach, as if he hasn't said enough all week to his players, he's now got them right back here. And you know what? It was Finnerty and Phillips. They're the people who scored the goals in the playoff final last year. They did exactly the same there.
Such high energy on their forecheck. And right now, Paul Thompson's saying what I wanted to say up here. Guys, we cannot let them have the puck down low in our zone. It's our zone. It's our barn. Drill them into the bar because they shouldn't have possession like that down low in our own zone.
David Matzos knows, though, that this Coventry Blaze team, full of experience, full of guys who've done it before, Nick. You know, the game's not over by any shots, is it?
No.
They're going to keep coming.
And Paul Thompson did a great job there by calling the timeout. Just regain composure, get the troops together and say, hey, guys, let's get the puck down low and do something on them, drive them, and work them hard and get the defensemen thinking about what we can do down low.
And the Sheffield Steelers now, Nick, surely just don't overcommit and, you know, keep it really simple, especially in your own defensive zone.
Well, you know what? Dave Matzos plays that kind of game anyway. He tries to go for, make sure we don't give the puck away or make any mistakes. But right now, they're just playing like a team with a lot of confidence, Dave. They're moving the puck around well. And it's going to take a lot by the Coventry Blaze to get back into this. You know, by doing something quick, and they got to do it now. They got to send the puck down low into the corners and hit a few guys, get a few good shots on net, and try and get momentum going back their way.
There is Paul Thompson making a few more notes. His previous goaltender, Jody Lehman, he's just down at the other end. He made that stop, that high glove catch, but Thompson looks frustrated, doesn't he?
Well, he wants a do-over. Hey guys, can we start this again, please? Because you know, we didn't get. But that's what it looks like he wants, and I'm sure
he wants somebody from our crew, doesn't he, to go down and say, listen,
yeah,
first 5 minutes never filmed, can we start again?
Yeah, we didn't record that, so we got to start again.
Paras comes out of his goal. Forsyth gives it to Watkins. Watkins moves the puck forward. Russ Cowley. Cowley against Munn. Munn stands him up. Cowley gets the puck in deep. Can Talbot get there ahead of Weaver? He can. Sarich, Danny Stewart. I think this is the line from Coventry that will cause a lot of the damage, because it grinds, and I think this is a night that the Coventry Blaze have got to grind something out.
Dave, it's just tempo levels. They got to get the tempo going. They got to get their feet going.
Jonathan Phillips has done a good job coming back on Tommy Watkins. Forsyth moves the puck forward. Lehman covers up as it bounces back. Cowley and Munn have a little bit of a clash as well. But Jody Lehman, a man who won a Grand Slam for the Coventry Blaze in his, well, he won promotion as well out of the old B&L to the Elite League. And
well, he's playing so well and so confident right now. And really right now, the Sheffield Steelers, the first 6 odd minutes of this game, they're just playing absolutely perfect hockey. And it's a delight to watch, but you know, you don't you want the Coventry Blaze to kind of shake their heads and say, guys, we're, you know, it's 2 goals down, it's 2 shots. And again, it's just starting to rebuild and doing the little things right, Dave.
You know what, Nick, there's 53 minutes and 32 seconds still remaining on this game. And the Sheffield Steelers have certainly got the upper hand. They've certainly come out with a mean step and take that advantage.
That's
penalty coming in on Fennerty, on Calder. Took Darnell a while to call it, but now here's a great chance for the Coventry Blaze to get back in this game now with their power play.
It is, you know, and it's one of those penalties, Dave, that you know, it's down low. You're being aggressive on the forecheck, but on Calder, you know, it's going to have 2 effects. Calder's going to say, you know, what the heck's going on here? These guys are so high tempo around me. They're buzzing around. I can't get into the game, or you know, and it's either going to upset Calder. It's going to, you know.
Slashing call on Finnerty. The Blaze on the power play. It's miles too early to say they've got to score on this power play. But you know what? Part of you is thinking they really do need to score on this power play just to settle the nerves. 1 in 5, just over 1 in 5 power plays at home here at the Skydome. The Coventry Blaze normally convert. Let's see how they're going to go here. They've got the big guns out there, Calder and Carlson. Here he's the captain, Adam Calder. Carlson gets it to Lewis. Lewis normally heads to the net. Calder's going to come to it. Calder's going to take the shot, and he does take the shot. It got deflected. Then a player goes down. First of all, it was Lewis. Then it was Desjardins. And a penalty is going to come up against the Coventry Blaze, and it's going to be Carlisle Lewis. So that power play for the Coventry Blaze lasted just 47 seconds.
Calder with a good chance right there, but the puck just takes a little bounce and a little ball, but he couldn't get enough wood on it. And then Carlisle Lewis coming drive, trying to be aggressive. down low, and again, a penalty where you'd say down low on the penalty, on the power play, guys. We can't take penalties like this.
Calder taking that shot at Jody Lehman. And I think it's important to say, you talk about the battles normally between two centremen or a left winger and a right defenseman, but one of the big battles in this game, I think, is Adam Calder and Jody Lehman. They are best of best friends, golfing buddies, talk every day, and Adam Calder is desperate to get a goal on Jody Lehman. Calder owned Lehman last year. Lehman has owned Calder this year. And the two of them talking before the game. We'll keep our eye on that little battle between those two. De Châtelet hit by Saric. I told you in the ones to watch how hard he hit. Shot comes in, this time from Yarmison. Here is Yarmison again, takes a shot. This time goes high. Went low with the first one, high with the second. Dowd finishes on Forsyth. Doddery he is not. Gets it to De Châtelet. Great work from De Châtelet. Look at that for super skills. But Jonathan Phillips robs him of the puck. And 4-on-4. Phillips will try and get the puck in deep if he can find Mark Thomas. Thomas was free. Instead cycles to Dowd. Phillips is still free himself. Tries to get it in deep. And the Sheffield Steelers penalty is just 15 seconds from coming to fruition. There is a call on Jonathan Phillips for holding. It was almost like action replay. Well, I think it was called by everybody in this building before Darnell Yalvin.
He got him for the hook, but again, he's just trying to be aggressive on a 4-on-4 and cause a turnover. And that's the Sheffield Steelers basically down low. That's how Dave Matsos likes to throw guys aggressive on when you're even strength. You need more aggressive 4-on-4 because you get a little bit more space.
Will Dave Matsos be upset that the two penalties against Finnerty and Phillips have both been in the offensive zone, though, Nick?
Well, Dave, you know, but they're aggressive penalties, and you know what, the Finnerty one I wouldn't have been upset with because you know it takes a hack at Calder, and Calder's going to be thinking, oh God, am I going to be in for one of these games?
5 seconds on a 4-on-3 power play. You don't very often see this. Watkins, Sheffield are back to 4 men now, so we're even-handed. Here's Danny Stewart. Stewart leaves it for Weaver, but it was a bad pass by Stewart. Le Gui hacks down, Finnerty finishes, and Finnerty just goes straight into you know, Danny Stewart,
he could have
and they've called icing.
Yeah, he could have gone a lot harder, but you know, this touch icing, Dave, I don't know we need it. You know, I mean, it's one of those things like, you know, the NHL had it for years, and you try and copy what they have, but they're smart enough to think, you know, you don't need it over here.
There's Ryan Finnerty, one of the heartbeats of the Sheffield Steelers team. Dave Matsos brought him back in the summer for his 3rd spell with the Sheffield Steelers. Matsos in his 3rd year of coaching as well in Sheffield. Face-off then, just in front of Lehman. Face-off win, Le Gui. Bassick collects. We're 4-on-4 for another 30 seconds, and Bassick has lost the puck behind his goal, and Colson and Calder doing their magic. They try and weave their magic to Weaver, who takes the shot, and Colson was on the back door. Sheffield come, they almost had a 3-on-2 there, wasn't quite the same. And Le Gui throws it at Dejanay, and it gets tipped over the plexiglass. And since those 2 goals, with the penalties, you don't get that even flow, do you?
No,
it's
you don't.
5-on-4, 4-on-3.
You know, and you're seeing your top players out there on the ice snapping the puck around, Dave. It's good hockey to watch, but you know, I'm sure both coaches now want to get back to 5-on-5 and getting their system going, getting their forechecking systems, and try and settle this game down a little bit.
Jeff Le Gui, who had 18 goals with that first one tonight. Here's Weaver. Weaver just circles back. Waits for Calder. Blaze now on the power play. Carlisle Lewis out onto the ice. That's suspiciously off our side. It wasn't. Comes all the way back to Perez. Perez leaves it for Forsyth. It's been a good signing for the Coventry Bays, has been Blake Forsyth. Forsyth goes out to Colson. And the key players for the Coventry Blaze tonight, Colson, Calder, Weaver. Going to log a lot of ice time, as will Rod Saric for the Steelers. Chips out. 32 seconds on the 1-man advantage. Forsyth goes to Weaver. Carlson's coming with speed in the middle, but instead back to Forsyth, red line. Chips, but it's static on the blue line. Calder gets Carlson as Tate, a former teammate, goes and hurries in the corner. Sheffield have an easy out and clear all the way down behind the goal of JF Paras with 13 seconds left on this 1-man advantage. Weaver right down the middle. Sheffield with the best penalty kill on the road in the Elite League. Hewitt gets it to Bassick, and Bassick clears, and the Sheffield Steelers are back to full strength. Let's hope we can have some 5-on-5 hockey now, Nick.
Some 5-on-5, and for the Coventry Blaze, obviously just want to get a couple of shots, Dave, a couple of big hits, and try and get some momentum heading into the second half of this first period.
Lee Jameson to Sylvain Deschatelet. He's got all the skills and he chips one in the corner. Yarmison goes to get it. Yarmison was just a foot offside and the play will come back. There is Yarmison. I haven't really seen enough of him to have a full opinion of the
it's only a
latest
couple of
signing.
games, and I think he was carrying an injury coming into Coventry, and he'll probably be waiting to get to 100%.
The only time these two teams have met here at the Sky Dome this year, Sheffield won in overtime. They actually led that game by 2-0 and 3-1 before the Blaze came back to tie it just before the end of regulation. So there's a lot more than just hope for the Coventry Blaze. They've trailed Coventry. They've trailed the Sheffield Steelers
they've
by
got
2
the personnel to do it, Dave.
Have.
Don't get me wrong, but like I say, I mean, there's just absolutely you don't see anything in any of their players, any of their eyes right now to change things.
They need a spark, don't they? And maybe it's from Deschatelet, but Lehman was straight out. Now maybe Yarmison, the right-handed shot, took the shot well wide of Lehman's glove hand, and Dowd has an out. He's looking to Hewitt in the middle, and he'll find Jason Hewitt. Jason Hewitt will hit the red line. Now we're trying to go round Yarmison, but Soderstrom collects, goes rink wide to Barry Moore, to Ben O'Connor, as Cruikshank comes across. You just feel for the remaining 6 minutes of this first period, no mistakes from the Sheffield Steelers, certainly in the defensive zone. Here's Dejanay. Dejanay chips out, but he can't get it all the way out. Couldn't get it to Finnerty. Stewart. Doug Shepherd has plenty of experience. 6th year in the league. Chips forward to Perez. Perez doesn't give a rebound up. And Doug Shepherd, we talk about experience. He's been a player coach, now a player assistant coach. Knows what it takes, doesn't he?
Yeah, and even just there, it's the smart plays. Coventry with a giveaway down low in Sheffield zone, and then they break it out. No real play to do, so he just sends it in on press and forces them to hold on for the rebound. They get the advantage of the face-off. Smart play.
Another 40-point man for the Sheffield Steelers, Doug Shepherd. Coventry come down the right-hand side. Bassett goes across to Dejanay, who gives it back to Bassett, but puts a little bit of pressure, and it's unneeded pressure, and it forces an icing call, and that was just because of the bad play there between Bassett and Dejanay, and then nothing else to do but chip out.
Nothing to do, but hey, chip it out and take the face off rather than the giveaway.
But those are errors that aren't needed, are they?
No, you got to, but Dave, they happen. Look at you, you're upset, eh?
Danny Stewart, Ryan Finnerty. Stewart needs a face-off win. Weaver's waiting.
I missed it.
Gets kicked out. Cowley. And still we put possession for the Coventry Blaze. Weaver gets it behind Lehman's goal, and Bassett cuts to the middle, and I'm sure that's not the play coach Matsos will have wanted from Scott Bassett. Weaver goes out to Stewart, and Stewart just gets the march there on Doug Shepherd, and he battles through again. Great play from Stewart. Chance for Cowley. I said it was that Stewart line. Stewart's the one right now for me who is showing something for the Coventry Blaze. Here's Finnerty. Goes backhand. Weaver does a good job on Finnerty. Finnerty keeps hold of the puck. Gets it back to Dejanay. Got deflected just out in front by Shepherd, and Perez just had to quickly get to his other post. Dejanay, he's walked round by Cowley. Cowley gets it back to Calder. Calder shoots. Look where Lehman is, straight out of his goal, and makes the save.
I'll tell you what, Lehman was at the bottom of the circle to shut that down on Calder.
Just over 4 minutes remain, first period. Coventry need to get on the board. Calder again, round Sarich. Calder, just out in front was Carlson. Now it's Carlisle Lewis. There's a penalty against the Sheffield Steelers. Another power play opportunity for the Coventry Blaze to end this first period. They've got the advantage still, though, as Soderstrom fires it right down the belly of Jody Lehman, and Tom Darnell calls another penalty. The Steelers are off to the penalty box. The Blaze need to get on the scoreboard here.
Yeah, they need it here. Interference call coming up against the Sheffield Steelers, and that came from Calder. He had a little burst of energy there from that shot, and then came around and got possession on the far wall there and drove around the defenseman. And and threw the puck in front of Jody Lehman, which forced the interference call from Munn. So the Coventry Blaze now with a chance to try and shake their heads, get it. And Dave, you know, they obviously desperately need a goal here, but they need something positive to come out of this.
And Paul Thompson realises the importance of this next 2 minutes. Power play time. Take the initiative into the first period break. Can they get back on the scoreboard? Have we got game on here at the Sky Dome? Weaver to Cowley, goes down the right-hand side. Calder on his off wing, intercepted though, and a super play there by Scott Bassick, who chips all the way down and takes that momentum away from the Coventry Blaze. Carlson gives it to Weaver. Calder's just ahead. He's going down the left-hand side now. Weaver comes across and gives it to Dan Carlson. Carlson chips. Bassick takes the body. Talbot gets there first. Hard rim. Only gets as far as Calder, who's waiting on the half boards. And Sheffield again. Oh, they don't clear it out. They should have done. And Sheffield had the big first chance, Shepherd, and he got it out second time of asking.
I've never seen the Coventry Blaze have so much trouble getting possession in their opposition zone. They're having such a hard time getting possession and holding on to it and putting 2 or 3 passes together.
Steelers forcing on the penalty kill right now. 1 minute of the 2-minute advantage has expired. Weaver gets it back to Adam Calder. Calder throws it at the net, and Carlson was to the right-hand side. Carlisle Lewis was right in front of Jody Lehman, and Lehman got his pad to it. 42 seconds remain on the power play. Forsyth to De Chatelet. De Chatelet hits the blue line, chips in, can Sarridge beat Stewart to it? Second unit on the power play for the Coventry Blaze. Here is Danny Stewart. Drop pass. And he got it to Barry Moore. They throw one at the net. De Chatelet was waiting right in the shadow of Jody Lehman, and Lehman was like a hoover. He just sucked that one in.
Oh yeah, he's feeling pretty confident. Right now, Danny Stewart is the buzz for the Coventry Blaze, and again though, you see the way they're just having a hard time settling the puck. The Sheffield Steelers are getting a couple of hacks and whacks at it, and it's not giving the Coventry Blaze any time to really set things up. But Stewart doing the right thing here. He doesn't have any other option except to throw it in on net, and he's got De Chatelet, I think, in front, looking for a rebound, but nothing from Lehman.
Danny Stewart right now, the heartbeat, the energy of the Coventry Blaze, but the Steelers come 2-on-2. Le Guy and Tate against Stewart, and Forsyth gave Ashley Tate a little bit of a dig there.
Tell you what, that is when you just thank God that someone invented these moorings that let the nets pop up, because Ashley Tate would have busted his knees up.
2-on-2 breakaway though, short-handed for the Sheffield Steelers. Le Guy played it off the backboards to that man Ashley Tate. Did Forsyth get a bit of this, or did Tate just
two on two, and just his towards the end of the period, Dave, the ice is getting a little bit chipped up.
5 seconds remain then on the Coventry Blaze power play with Yarmison. Phillips all over him. Yarmison cuts to the middle. He's got the Chatelet to his right. It's still Yarmison to Chatelet. We'll try and get the puck back to Forsyth, but Hewitt's come and blocked that lane. Thomas goes in on Yarmison. A battle in the corner, gets it back to Barry Moore. Barry Moore has got Forsyth just behind him. Cycles instead. One-timer Yarmison. Yarmison had the 6-iron out though when he really needed the 4. Big hit Soderstrom. Some intensity coming from the Coventry Blaze. Sarridge now into Chatelet. Sarridge got there first, but Forsyth kept it in. Barrymore, one-timer from Yarmison. That came out, delayed offside, and the Sheffield Steelers will bring. And they'll bring with 80 seconds left in the period. Hewitt tries to get it deep, but he fails. And Soderstrom moves the puck quickly forward. Here's the Chatelet. He's got Yarmison heading towards the net. Cruikshank tries to force Yarmison. Forsyth is in unfamiliar territory. He's down at the other end of the ice now. A battle with Desjardins and Yarmison. Desjardins comes out with it. Desjardins loses the puck. The Chatelet. Just a minute remaining. And Desjardins just stood under pressure in this final minute of the first period. Yarmison again. And Nick Yarmison's got 3 or 4 scoring chances from 8-10 feet out.
Yeah, he has, but again, it's I think it was Mark Thomas on the shift before. They're just shutting things down so fast, Dave, on the Coventry Blaze, and for Coventry want to get these one-timers away, but
Lewis has done a great job there, battling, and he's got the puck up. What a big hit from Carlisle Lewis. He got a turnover, and he got some momentum going for the Coventry Blaze. Coventry desperately trying to score their first goal in this first period. They've only got 20 seconds left. They throw one at the net. Lehman kicks it away. Desjardins has it. It has to be a simple out. It is a simple out for Andy Dagenais. And it goes down towards Ben O'Connor. Ben O'Connor's father is the Steelers general manager, Mike O'Connor. He's about 15 feet to my right. And he's got split loyalties tonight as Ashley Tate chips down behind the goal of JF Perez. A period that the Sheffield Steelers own. They lead the Coventry Blaze by 2-0. Goals from Talbot. And that second bite of the cherry, and Ryan Finnerty. It's the Steelers that lead the Blaze. Paul Thompson will be furious at the end of the first period. We'll have the second period coming up after this break. Welcome back to the Skydome Arena. The story of the first period was the Sheffield Steelers dominated it and the Coventry Blaze didn't really wake up. That man, Jody Lehman, somehow though faced 10 shots against Perez's 8, Nick.
Yeah, you know what, and I'll tell you, Paul Thompson will probably be, I mean, they're 2-0 down, but they could have been more down, Dave. You know, the way that they came out, they were so flat in that first period, and Ashley Tate missed a sitter, and there was a couple other good scoring opportunities from the Sheffield Steelers. It could easily be 4-0 right now. So Coventry hopefully got their, pulled their finger out, had a good head shake in that intermission, and they'll come out a different team now.
The talk up here on the press balcony in between the first and second period was maybe Sheffield, that's as good as Sheffield can play. They're still only 2-0 up, and 2 goals can quickly be turned around by Coventry.
Especially with the firepower they have, Dave.
Well, Danny Stewart, who chips the puck in deep, he's the man who has been the main threat for the Coventry Blaze. But Coventry had their power play chances galore in the first period. Sarich will break out with it, and he protects the puck well, hits the red line and chips it for Hewitt to go and chase. Forsyth finishes on Hewitt. Cowley comes in for support. He's like shadowed by Ashley Tate. Ashley Tate took a nasty one towards the end of the first period, colliding with the goalposts. Here's Weaver. Dowd comes across and forces Weaver. Weaver makes the pass to Watkins. Watkins to Russ Cowley. Cowley off the board behind the goal of Lehman. Sarich will go across to get there, but Stewart gets there first. And in fact, then Sarich chips out. And both teams take the opportunity of a line change. Weaver, long pass forward. Carlisle Lewis got a little bit on it. Bassick now off the glass. Gets an awkward bounce off the glass, and the second time of asking, the Sheffield Steelers finally get the puck out. Steve Munn waiting for his first Sheffield Steelers goal. He's the only Steeler not to have found the back of the net this season. Lewis finishes on Phillips. Talbot comes in for moral support. Legui and Talbot and Phillips behind the goal of Perez. Phillips will try and twist and turn. There's a rebound, and it was Joey Talbot, Johnny on the spot, just fired past the stick side of JF Perez. Sheffield with early puck possession in the offensive zone of the Coventry Blaze. Carlson to Calder. There's a lane. He takes the shot, deflected though off the stick of Randy Dagenais. And the whistle blows. There is Adam Calder, the captain of the Coventry Blaze, has 28 goals in all competitions this year. But Nick, here was Sheffield's chance.
Yep, Phillips with a good little spinorama there, just down low, and the puck bubbling for Joey Talbot. It goes for the far side, just goes wide. But again, you have Soderstrom and Weaver standing either side of Joey Talbot. One of them, I would imagine Weaver would have been looking for Soderstrom to come in and make sure that Talbot couldn't get that shot away.
Deschatelet with a face-off win, back to Jameson. Back to Yarmison. Yarmison takes a shot wide past the post of Jody Lehman. Deschatelet back to Moore, to Soderstrom. Now it's Coventry's turn to have pressure in the Sheffield Steelers defensive zone. Bassick and Moore clash. Can Shepherd help it and Cruikshank help it on its way? Finnerty can't clear the puck to, gives it to Deschatelet. Bassick off the glass, chips past the bench of the Coventry Blaze, collected by Jameson to Soderstrom. Soderstrom in the direction of Lehman, who plays the puck out. Bassick's got it with Deschatelet coming hard. Shepherd and Finnerty, who skates just ahead of him. Yarmison finishes on Shepherd. Finnerty just clears all the way down behind the goal of Perez.
Yeah, Sheffield, again, stringing nice passes together. 4 passes, they clear the zone, get it into Coventry zone, they get a nice change.
Watkins drove Mark Thomas well. A little bit of afters from Jason Hewitt. A little bit of shoving and pushing. And Lee Jameson comes in then on Jason Hewitt.
That'll do, Dave. Jameson come in, put a guy on his butt, maybe start lighting a bit of a fire for the Blaze.
And Lee Jamieson there, he's a passionate young lad as well, and he's just trying to get his team going, isn't he, Nick?
Well, you know what, Dave? I mean, we were talking earlier on about that penalty that Finnerty took against Calder earlier on in the first period. You know, sometimes a penalty isn't a bad thing to take. You can come in and give a guy a hack or a whack or a roughing call. It wakes people up. You know, it says, I'm going to stand up, I'm going to do something to try and light a fire here, because right now we're playing pretty flat hockey. The puck is not bouncing our way. And with the Sheffield Steelers being as dominant as they are, you know, you need something to try and get things going.
Dowd and Cowley. Dowd did a better job. Forsyth moves the puck forward to Stewart. Thomas will meet him in the corner. Cowley comes across as cover. Tommy Watkins is through. Here's Danny Stewart, goes forehand, backhand. And again, it's Danny Stewart, Nick, who's just starting to create for the Coventry Blaze. 3-on-2 if the Sheffield Steelers play it right. Savage has found Hewitt. Hewitt will try and go round Forsyth. Weaver cuts across. Dowd has the puck. There's a man in front. It's Ashley Tate. And now a 3-on-2 in the Coventry Blaze's favour. It's Danny Stewart, drop pass Shirley. Weaver takes a shot, and it just went wide of the goal of Jody Lehman. Calder, hit comes in, penalty. Tate, Ashley Tate on Calder. Stewart comes in, charging penalty on Ashley Tate.
Something like this doesn't ignite your guys. You know, then nothing will. Right in front of Coventry Blaze's bench. And that's where, you got to say, hey, guys, let's stand up and do something and defend ourselves.
Sheffield playing physical on Calder is one thing, but perhaps that was a little over the top.
Well, you know, he came in from the side, blindsided him there, and it was 2 or 3 feet, well, a couple, probably not that far, but a foot and a half, 2 feet away from the boards. Could have been a dangerous hit. It wasn't, you know, if that Ashley Tate was running in there to hit him and hurt the guy or anything. But
well, Adam Calder now can give Ashley Tate one back, because a power play opportunity for the Coventry Blaze. Can Calder get on the board? Calder, and he rims one high off the boards, and it goes into the meshing on top of the plexiglass. Adam Calder came to the Coventry Blaze from Wichita in the Central League, and after his Grand Slam year went to Sweden. Things didn't work out too well for him there, and back with Coventry for the 3 years that have followed. Shepherd clears the puck into the neutral zone. Fourth power play of the night then for the Coventry Blaze. They've had various opportunities. Here's Le Guy. Can he clear the puck? He can't the first time, but his line mate Shepherd can, all the way down to Perez. Nick, you talked about Coventry failing in the setup in the previous power plays. What do they have to do differently to get set up?
Well, you know, we see they try and gain the blue line, and they tried to skate it in the first period, but now they've got to try and send it in low, and then they've got to take advantage of that, the man advantage that they have, and outnumbers the Sheffield Steelers down low, which they're just not doing.
Sheffield come 2-on-1 fire. What a stop by Perez. Stunning stop as that was going top shelf. Now it's Lewis down the far end. Bassick hits Lewis. Has he got a chance to clear? He hasn't. And Finnerty comes in. What an absolute bullet of a shot that was by Jonathan Phillips. It's going top shelf, and JF Perez has kept his team in it. Short-handed opportunity. Here's Calder. Sheffield forced Barry Moore, man at the back door. What a stop by Lehman. You've got to be here to believe the stop that Jody Lehman has just made on the Swede Yarmison. End-to-end stuff. Lehman shuts the door.
Well, Calder coming in through the high slot there, and the puck just bobbles. Looking at it, gains his own puck, bobbles for him. Pass coming right across to Yarmison, and you got to say, from Moore, Yarmison put that up high, and Jody Lehman doing everything he could, threw everything across there.
Here's the Jonathan Phillips bullet, and Perez just got a bit of that. We've seen some great saves off a lot of great goalies. Werner, Reiter, Robinson, Lehman, Perez. I don't think we've seen a better stop than that one, Nick.
Yeah, a 1-2 punch by both goalies, but you got to say that that one by Lehman's a bit of a backbreaker. As the Coventry Blaze were on the power play, they still are.
For 33 more seconds, the Blaze trying to get on the scoreboard here with Yarmison. Puck goes to Forsyth, he got rebounded, Lehman's lost it. There's a puck out in front, to Chatterley couldn't quite get there. And right now, Lehman's closing the door. Sarich goes to Talbot. And now, here come the Blaze again. 15 seconds, Barry Moore. He's got a quick ripper. He's going to take the shot, go short side. There was a slash, another penalty against the Sheffield Steelers. Yarmison gets the puck back. 3 seconds. Cowley. Another power play coming the way of the Coventry Blaze as soon as they touch the puck. Delayed penalty at the moment. Barrymore, Cowley just in front. Puck comes back out to Forsyth. Yarmison throws one at the net. Sheffield Steelers have it as Ashley Tate touches it. The penalty comes in. And it's a little... Is that a hooking call, I think, Darnell made on the Sheffield Steelers?
I think it was on Moore when Moore was gaining the zone. And like I said, you know, earlier on, it's how they're going to gain the zone and get possession. And they've been having problems either skating in or even with cross-ice dumps and strong-side dumps.
Rod Savage can't believe that Darnell scored a penalty on him. He's just twice gone, are you sure it's me? Are you sure it's me? Darnell says, yes, pal, I'm not sure. It's you. So Savage, 19 of the Steelers, heads into the penalty box. How many power plays do the Blaze need, Nick?
Well, you know, 1 in 5 right now, so this is their 5th one, so you know, hopefully they...
Well, yeah, at home, 1 in 5 is what the Coventry Blaze average. Colson in the face-off circle. It comes back to Yarmison. Calder wouldn't fall for him. Back to Yarmison. Carlson right in front of Jody Lehman. Big Carlisle Lewis out there as well. He's planted in front of Lehman. Puck's going to come to Weaver. Weaver, a one-timer. Yarmison, fans on it. Yarmison just swung the stick at that. I thought Calder was going to take the one-timer. Came across to Yarmison instead. Here is Adam Calder. 30 seconds gone in Sheffield Steelers penalty kill. Dan Carlson puts the brakes on. Tries the set-up. Get puck possession in the offensive zone. Now the set-up. They'll wait patiently with Carlson. Throws one at Lehman. Comes back to Yarmison. That just flicked up in the air, didn't it? And Calder couldn't really see that one. It's going to come back out to Weaver. Weaver throws one at the net. A rebound.
Oh.
Lehman's made another stunning stop. Oh, ho, ho.
You know,
Jody Lehman.
it's just they cannot buy one right now. Really brilliant play by Jonathan Weaver on the point just to send the puck in there. It takes a couple of little bounces and Lehman still with the save.
The Chatelet had Barrymore in front of him, but it was Steve Munn who throws it all the way back at Perez. Perez rims it. Weaver takes a hit from Finnerty. Sheffield will try and press. Barrymore cuts to the middle. Thomas has got to be strong, and he's done a good job on Barrymore, but Cowley's free, and Cowley cuts out of the middle, goes to offer some support. Phillips gives it Finnerty. Finnerty hits the blue line and chips down, buying his team a few more valuable seconds. There's just 20 remaining on Coventry's 5th power play of the night. Cowley with speed, a battle of the 17. Shewitt goes after him, but Cowley gained the zone with ease. Back to the Chatelet, 10 seconds remain. Barrymore, Cowley just offering support. Moore gets it back, only as far as Stewart, takes a shot, and it pings off the plexiglass. Full strength the Sheffield Steelers now, back 5 on 5, and Lehman covers up, and we are back 5 on 5, Nick.
And they're going to need another power play as it stands, Dave, if they're going to try and get on the board on the power play here. But look at this great play by Jonathan Weaver. He doesn't have anything definite, but he's got Calder and Carlson driving towards the net. Finds Calder with a little shot pass there, or Carlson, sorry.
Lehman. Lehman can see nothing until he gets to him,
he still gets a hit, but he's playing positionally probably the best he's ever played, Dave. And he says that he's been working really hard on his positional play, coming out, cutting down angles, and also making sure that he can get back and shut down anything coming down low.
Dowd is banged in the corner, and then Desjardins banged as well, and Dowd comes back and battles, and Desjardins battles, and Carlisle Lewis is the big, strong ox just out in front, and Dowd tries to stick handle his way out of the defensive zone. Doesn't happen. Carlson, chance now out in front. Soderstrom it was who came in. Lehman denies.
But Dave, you know what? The Coventry Blaze now starting to gain a little bit of momentum. They're putting 2 or 3 nice passes together. They're getting the scoring opportunities. So their chins will be lifted a little.
Tate and Munn doing a sterling job down the left-hand side. O'Connor comes across. O'Connor gives it to Soderstrom. Here comes Adam Calder. 3 on 2 if they play it right. Carlson's free. Carlson gets it. Carlson's going to take the wrist shot. He does, and throws it right down the throat of Jody Lehman, and he looks frustrated with himself, and rightly so. Carlson should have done better there.
Well, no, Dave, you can't say that. I mean, they're putting passes together, and when you say should have, the only thing he could have done is scored, but he did what he had to do. He got the puck in on net. Jody Lehman is playing great right now. But the Coventry Blaze, they're starting to play more confident. They got that puck, little quick transition through the neutral zone. Again, gained the blue line, which is what they've had a hard problem doing. And now they're getting the shots on net. which is what they've got to do. They've got to start doing the little things right, and it will start going their way.
We're seeing the Coventry Blaze play now, Nick, how we expected them to start the opening 10 minutes. Here's Forsyth, red line. Chips in, De Chatelet gets it, Moore's free in the middle. Sarich has got him covered. Thomas has lost his stick, and he goes back for his stick and now thinks better of it. Sheffield without a stick, and as Le Gouy will break, he's got Talbot just ahead of him. Thomas will get his stick. Still Le Gouy. Forsyth cuts across. Phillips there as well. There's Yarmison. Yarmison, nice pass, 2-on-1. De Chatelet's got Barrymore free. De Chatelet cuts to the middle, surely now. Denied by Lehman. Icing will be called as Weaver touches it. Sylvain De Chatelet must have thought he was about to open the scoring. What an opportunity on the 2-on-1 break. Lehman denies.
Unbelievable composure by both players, Dave. You know, a 2-on-2 situation, and a great play by De Chatelet, not to force it. He's always looking. He can't force that pass. Moore goes wide and then tries to pull Lehman across. But Lehman, he's got the biggest pads in the league, and he keeps that one down on the ice to shut down at what could have been an unbelievable goal.
What have, penalty coming in on Coventry, but what have the Coventry Blaze got to do to beat Jody Lehman? Interference call.
Interference call up against Forsyth on Joey Talbot through the neutral zone. And yeah, what have they got to do? They got to basically, I think, in the intermission, send everyone onto the cash point and try and get some money, and they might be able to buy a goal that way. There's the interference call from Forsyth as Talbot was coming in through the neutral zone.
This is the game we expected to see right off the bat, wasn't it? People like Stewart and Finnerty and Soderstrom and Cruikshank just giving it everything they've got. Here's Talbot. A battle. Sheffield are trying to get them quality puck possession so they can move the puck around. They throw one at Perazzi's net, but it's a good penalty kill by the Coventry Blaze. They force, they get it out to Carlson. He turns on a sixpence once, twice. Cruikshank knocks him off the puck, but Carlson bought his team some time. Ashley Tate down the left-hand side. Goes round Tommy Watkins. Ashley Tate will bring Cruikshank into the play. Cruikshank back to Sarich. Sarich moves it to Le Gouy. Back to Rod Sarich, takes it in his skate. Back over to Ashley Tate, but Watkins forces. Two very similar penalty kills, Nick, where the defending team forcing the puck carrier at all times.
You can't let these guys set up. They're such highly skilled players, and you can just see just the way they snap the puck around, Dave. It's so impressive, you know, just the passing ability of these players. And yeah, on the PK, you've got to be aggressive against both these teams.
Joe Talbot's almost had a turnover there. Not quite fell for him. Forsyth, who does jump in the play. I like Forsyth. He adds a lot to the Blaze. Yarmison throws one at the net. And when you think that Corey Leclerc was brought to Coventry as that offensive guy, never really showed, did it, right from the first practice session, in my view. But the lad Forsyth, I certainly like him the 2 or 3 times I've seen him so far.
Yeah, nice steady defenseman, and that new guy as well, Yarmison, who's getting the shots on goal. That's all you can ask for players, get the shots on goal, and they'll start hitting the back of the net.
Coventry have just got to get depressed about Lehman right now. You know, chances will continue to come.
He's human, and they've scored on him before, and they know that. And you know what? Calder scored on him before several times, and it's just going to take one of them just to step in there. They'll get a lucky bounce or a lucky break, and like I say, Sheffield, who had chances to perhaps put this game a little bit further beyond reach. Coventry Blaze still 2 goals is 2 shots.
It will be a scruffy one, won't it? That perhaps finally goes past Lehman as.
Or it'll be really sweet.
It'll be as Finnerty finishes on Moore. Phillips chips in. Sorry, Shepherd chips in. And here comes that man Forsyth again. Gives it to Weaver. Chips the puck forward. Lehman comes out, thinks twice about it. The boards are so bouncy and horrible here. Chance for Yarmison again, and Yarmison again, and Yarmison denied once, denied twice, and have a job denied a 3rd time. Now Yarmison and Thomas Dowd's in there as well. We've got a little bit of this. Forsyth comes in, and we've got a 5-on-5. Forsyth in, Hewitt's in there as well. Mark Thomas is there with Yarmison. Yarmison is just totally frustrated.
You know what, Dave?
Chatelet's just holding his wrist. Look at Lehman, though.
Here's the happiest guy in the whole place, because he's just sitting there going, you know, he's just made 2 outstanding saves. The Sheffield Steelers did what they had to do. Look at this. Look at it. the melee, just Yarmanson with one shot, two shot, Lehman getting down, covering up the puck. Now Sheffield doing what they have to do. Let's stir things up a little bit here, guys. Come on. Sorry, the Coventry Blaze. Coventry Blaze, you know, they're having a hard time. They can't buy a goal right now, so they're going to send some stuff, try and get Jody off his game, but then Jody's actually sitting in the corner.
Nick, that second save from that angle was about 10 times better than I thought he was from the other angle.
It was an incredible save,
What a stop
incredible save, yeah, by Yarmanson. He had the two cracks at it.
The captain, Jonathan Phillips, is next to Calder. 2-minute roughing penalty against Thomas.
This will be good for both teams, just to spark things up here with 7.5 minutes to go in the second period. Coventry really now, Dave, they've got to put it on the line. They've got to throw everything at Jody Lehman, keep driving in the net.
So a double minor against the Sheffield Steelers. Hewitt roughing, Thomas roughing, and Yarmanson roughing for Coventry. Another power play for the Coventry Blaze. So here is an opportunity for De Châtelet, for Lewis, for Carlson, for Calder, for Weaver. Those are the 5 for the Coventry Blaze. They're going against Legui and Tate and Bassick and Dagenet for the Sheffield Steelers. Weaver jumps down the middle, makes the play out to Lewis. Dagenet had the stick like the hammer there, and a bounce, a nasty one off the boards. I think it touched a little bit of the referee, actually, of Darnell, and Dagenet finally clears through the neutral zone. And a full change for the Sheffield Steelers. Coventry keep their big units out. Calder chips into the corner. Lehman comes across. Lehman makes the play with Calder, and Calder's going to get a beating for that. And in comes Lewis, and then in comes Phillips. Calder hit his best mate. No friendship lost there. Calder ran Lehman.
But you know, he didn't run Lehman. And I got to say, when Calder had that head of steam going, he's going, guys, you look down the bench at each other, fine. I'm going to put the puck here. I'm going to get us going. He sends the puck into the corner, and he says, I'm going to go in and get it myself. Jody Lehman was there, and he didn't put the brakes on. That's why he's going to get the penalty. But
well,
really, this will fire things up. And he didn't try to hit Lehman, but I'll tell you what, Lehman didn't try and get out of the way either.
Good, Steve Mundane on Calder, and Carlisle Lewis was in like a shot, wasn't he?
But you know, Dave, that Calder did exactly what they needed to do, is to get Lehman off his game. You can't go in there and run a goalie. I'm not trying to say that. But Lehman came out to play the puck, and Calder didn't try to get out of the way, and that's all I'm going to say on that one. But well, you know what? You got to do something to try and get him off his game.
Well, we've talked about good penalties, bad penalties. That has to be a bad one, because your team's on the power play. You've got your chance of scoring is on that power play.
We'll see if it upset Lehman or not. We'll see if that kind of, that kind of play, that kind of energy, we'll see what it does to see whether or not that was a bad penalty.
Oh, this is a crackerjack of a game.
Let's see what happens.
I hope you took my advice at the start of the night and you hit that record button, because you will want to watch this one again and again and again. God, I hope my wife's recorded it. Here's Phillips, top of the circle. Perez denies. Perez, we haven't seen him for a while, have we? And he's back in action down there after that bullet of a shot from Phillips a couple of minutes ago. And he's got another chance, and Finity from close range, and Perez just stood up to him. Here comes Carlson. Carlson, blue line to Châtelet, one way. Shot and scores! It's Jonathan Weaver! And he finally gets one past Lehman. Then we start again. And here we go, folks. This is how much this one means. Forsyth and Sarich. Finity and Carlson. Lewis, sorry, to Châtelet and Munn.
Dave, you were asking about whether or not that was a good penalty to take from Adam Calder. I'm going to have to say that was a good penalty from Adam Calder, because he came in here, he got things fired up, and then, I'm not going to say that because he rubbed out Jody Lehman, that Jody Lehman was off, but I'll tell you what, he was thinking about it. And Jonathan Weaver, one of our guys to watch, one of the great hockey players on the ice, the great hockey players in the Elite League. Look at how they gain the puck here. Weaver comes in, he joins the play, joins the rush, snipes it up high on Lehman, and it's 2-1.
Carlson drop pass, Weaver steps in, shoots top shelf. And actually what caused that push and shove was just a collision.
Finity gave Weaver a little shove, You score a goal and on Jody Lehman. I'm going to give you a little shove on there. Do you know what, Dave? It's good hockey. It's man's hockey. This sport is a tough game.
Well, the timekeepers have asked for the referee to go over. Barry Moore is furious with Tom Darnell. So Dan Carlson, a two-minute roughing penalty, time at the time of the goal there, with 6 minutes and 21 left.
Why didn't he call Finnerty and even it up and keep it even? That's I don't understand. But.
No, I'm surprised at that. 4 on 3. Oh, another stop.
save.
Perez got a drop of that one. 2 goals to 1, the Steelers lead on the road at the Sky Dome. But the Blaze have got the momentum. But the Steelers have got the power play. Sarich, Legui's free on the one-timer. Sarich instead goes to Dowd. Dowd out in front. Perez has made the first save. Here's Legui, big slash from Stewart. Oh. And Perez dives on it. And Jeff Legui grimaces. I'm not surprised because Danny Stewart is just almost like just cut a log in half, hasn't he?
Well, you know, maybe he was watching that. Yeah, you can see Legui coming in and Danny Stewart going, I'm going to take the, you know, and I'll tell you what, that was right in front of the ref as well. So we'll say we're even now.
I think actually Darnell was obscured, wasn't he, when we saw that replay? Back to Legui.
He could have heard it. He could have heard it, though.
Legui on a one-timer. There's another rebound.
Oh!
And this time it's Perez who makes a stunning stop. Perez has been watching Lehman, and Perez has just closed the door on the Sheffield Steelers.
Anything you can do, I can do just as well, if not better. Perez on a 4-on-3. You know, the Sheffield Steelers with a great opportunity here. One-timer coming in, Perez with a great save. And then look at that quick reaction on the glove save, but then also to have the sense to hold on for the rebound, David, to look for those rebounds for the face-off. This is a great game of hockey.
The great thing about Perez's save is he hasn't had a lot to do in the last 10, 12, 15 minutes, has he?
No, well done to them. He's kept focused. He's kept concentrated. Unbelievable couple of saves.
Still power play time. Another 10 seconds for the Sheffield Steelers. Legui and Sarich working the top on the power play. The puck goes back over to Dowd. Has got Talbot just in front. 2 seconds, 1 second. Shot comes in high off the glass. Rebounds round. Now it's a 5-on-3 for 32 seconds. Ashley Tate joins. Sarich, it got deflected. There's a chance out in front. Here's Dowd again. Rips one and it fires off the stick of Matthias Soderstrom. And over the plexiglass, Dowd looking for his 11th power play goal of the year.
And right now the Blaze, Deschatelet, blood and guts, trying to throw himself in front of that. You know, and on a 4-on-3, Dave, you won't want to try and sacrifice your body that much, but you can see when Deschatelet comes out to you see Deschatelet on the top of your screen. Well, you don't, but he comes down to block that shot. That forces the Sheffield Steeler defenseman to go up high with it, which you know, it stops any deflections in front of the net. So great play by Deschatelet.
What a stunning game so far. Sarich. Desjardins. Sarich. Randy Desjardins. Nice play. Legui's at the back door. Tate couldn't find him the first time, and an easy out for the Coventry Blaze. They get a standing ovation for that out as well. 5-on-3 penalty kill. They've got momentum with them if they can kill this 35 seconds power play of the Steelers. Coventry, one man returns to the ice. 25 seconds now, 5-on-4. Desjardins. Played by Desjardins. Desjardins takes a shot. Rebounds out in front. Chance for Ashley Tate. Oh. Shoots. And again, it's Perez's turn. What is it with these two goaltenders? J.F. Perez has had nothing to do. He's read Women's Weekly for the last half an hour, and all of a sudden he's just come to the plate and made 3 blistering saves.
Unbelievable. And you know, Dave, you know, nothing in sport is ever fair. It's sport, and that's what happens. But with the penalty calls, especially after Weaver scored that goal, and I think that, you know, the official missed that call on Finnerty to try and keep things even, and now it's a 5-on-3. Great entertaining hockey, but if it stays like this and we end up being 5-on-5, I'd say that's fair, and that sets up for an unbelievable third period.
A great third period. 4:38, Nick, still left on this one. Elite League hockey in a rink near you. And when you have a night like this, there is nothing better. 10 seconds remain on the power play. Desjardins gets it across to Bassick. Bassick with a hammer. It rebounded off the skate of Finnerty. Phillips turns on a sixpence. Finnerty crosses. The Coventry Blaze are 2 seconds away from being at full strength. They are at full strength now, and they'll try and clear the puck. And they tried to clear it to the man coming out of the penalty box, Sheffield. Oh, great defensive work by the Coventry Blaze. Here's Doug Shepard. Will chip in, Finnerty goes chasing it. Cowley comes across, Finnerty finishes on Cowley. Forsyth and Finnerty in a battle. Carlson there as well, and Carlson and Finnerty, of course, who had the big battle just after the goal. Jonathan Phillips leaves it for Finnerty. Finnerty throws it at the net and Phillips just couldn't connect. Jonathan Phillips has got Weaver one way. Phillips cuts to the middle. Shepard will try and get it back to Bassick. Bassick on a one-timer. No rebound. Perez outstanding. And you know what? Just like Lehman, when the big shots come in, Lehman gives no rebounds. Perez has given nothing there, because if he gave the slightest of rebound, there was a steal at the door.
And the one shot just before that, Perez, with the power that it takes to clear the puck off of a rebound, Dave, from your pads, it takes unbelievable strength. And he actually cleared the puck himself off of a rebound. So you got to say both these goalies right now are playing out of their skin.
He looks a lot more happy than he did after 5 minutes, doesn't he?
Well, his team's shown up now in this period, but they didn't show up in the first.
I think all he asks is the same as every coach, that your team competes. And in the first period they didn't, in the second they have.
And what he said in his interview is that they've got to leave this rink here tonight knowing they've left nothing in the changing room, Dave. They've got to put it all out there.
Stewart forced none, and Steelers failed to clear. And again, Dowd, as good offensively as he is, has just given a chance there to clear the chance, and Yarmison throws one at the net. A penalty against the Sheffield Steelers. But Robert Dowd has got to clear the puck in those defensive situations, because he put his team in trouble, and Mark Thomas then takes a defensive zone penalty.
There's confidence with the holding call. Thomas with the holding call, you can see at the top of the screen. And you know, that's what you got to do. You got to keep your feet moving in the offensive zone and draw those penalties.
How times change. The Sheffield Steelers fans now sat back in their seats. The Coventry Blaze fans, they're just looking for an excuse just to stand up, aren't they, right now? They're right on the edge of their seats. Calder, De Chatelet, chips in. Barrymore gets there first, back to De Chatelet. Savage comes across. De Chatelet protects well. Rims the puck round. Can Stewart get there first? He can, and gets hit with a big elbow from Ashley Tate, just under the visor. Get me words out. The visor. 33 seconds killed. Here's Forsyth. Barrymore cuts to the middle. Puck goes all the way back out there to De Chatelet. De Chatelet gets it back to Forsyth. Forsyth takes the shot off the blocker of Jody Lehman. As far as Yarmison. And Shepard does a good job on Yarmison and forces Yarmison back out to Forsyth. De Chatelet. Yarmison is free on the left-hand side. It's still... Oh, excellent play, Joe Talbot. De Chatelet was just dillying and dallying. Forsyth comes back to Perez's goal. He collects. 45 seconds left on the penalty. Offside as De Chatelet was already in an offside position.
Yeah, if you...
Coulson, let's see that hit again. Tate on Stewart.
Yeah, good solid hit, Dave. Good solid hit by both players.
You gotta love this sport, haven't you? 2 minutes remain. What a battle we've had here at the Sky Dome in Coventry. Still power play time. What's a power play, you ask? First time of watching us? Count those white shirts, 5 of them. Count the teal shirts of Sheffield, 4 of them. For another 33 seconds. Calder is driving the net. Dejanay has an out. Oh, and Russ Cowley with hand-eye coordination almost picks that one out of the air. 20 seconds on the one-man advantage to Paul Thompson's Coventry Blaze. But they can't get good puck possession. And Bassick chips it down behind Perez's goal. 8 seconds. Here comes Coventry. Last chance on this power play maybe for Adam Calder. Munn tries to clear, gets it back to Weaver. Weaver throws one on the net, and it got deflected before it finally got round to Jody Lehman. 3-on-2 if the Steelers play it well. Here's Mark Thomas, who's just come out of the penalty box. Chips down low. Legui goes to chase it, but good work by Jonathan Weaver, who fed his defensive partner. And the Coventry Blaze have chipped out. It's breathtaking stuff here at the Sky Dome, just breathtaking stuff. Into the final minute. Legui on a breakaway, but he just bounced off his stick. Talbot's going to drive the net. Legui still got it. Soderstrom comes across to him. Soderstrom does an outstanding job. And now the Coventry Blaze come. Long shot from Barrymore. Kicked away by Lehman. Certainly the player of the game to date. Ashley Tate, who played a lot of his hockey here in Coventry, chips high off the glass as far as Forsyth. Left-handed shot Forsyth to Barrymore, who chips down behind the goal. Saric moves past the hit of Yarmison, but Yarmison's going to get it back as Sheffield again failed to clear their defensive zone. 10 seconds. Yarmison, De Châtelet. Saric has got to do a good job. Is there a scoring opportunity left for the Blaze? Maybe. But Saric and Ashley Tate do an excellent piece of work. And the Coventry Blaze are back in this one after trailing 2-0 at the end of the first period. That man, Jonathan Weaver. But it was end-to-end stuff. Perez with a great save. Big hits. Goalie interference. And Jonathan Weaver's goal. It's 2-1 to the Steelers on the road in Coventry. Third period after this break. Well, if Nick Rothwell and I had any seats in the penalty in the press box here in Coventry, we'd be on the edge of our seats right now.
All right, or sat over there.
I don't know. I noticed you were speaking to the cameraman earlier. Have you been chatting up again?
Look at the shots on net, Dave.
Perez and Lehman, 17 apiece. Folks, they have been the stars of the show. Lehman, certainly in the first period and the early part of the second period, but then Perez certainly came back in abundance at the end of that second session.
I think that's what it was, is that Perez just didn't face a lot of shots there for the first half of the second, and then when he was called upon, he was there, and Jody Lehman has just been absolutely outstanding at the other end as well.
I spoke to David Matsos at the end of the second period. He certainly wasn't best pleased with the chap with the orange sleeves right now, Tom Darnell.
Whoever is, eh?
Well, of course. Never been to a game and had coaches and players and everybody happy with the referee. They always come under the scrutiny. Well, here we go then, folks. Third period. I've got to tell you, somebody in my ear just said big 20 minutes. It's not big, it's not massive, it's huge, it's colossal. It's the season for the Coventry Blaze. And they get a chance right off the door there with Russ Cowley. And Dowd has to be a little bit stronger. And Saric makes a nice pass. It was intended. As Tate takes the shot as it flicks off Weaver. It was intended for Jason Hewitt. Ashley Tate, who scored many goals in this building during his 4 years with the Coventry Blaze, takes the shot.
He's played great tonight. He's played tough, and that's what you need out of Ashley Tate, because he's such a highly skilled guy. But you know, when he starts getting under the skin of other players as well, it shows another dimension, and it shows how much the Sheffield Steelers and the Coventry Blaze both need this game, because it has turned into a nice physical encounter, which is what we all love.
I would love to have been in that Coventry Blaze dressing room at the end of the first period when the guy you've just seen in picture, Paul Thompson, spoke to his team. We'll find out in our post-game reaction what he did say to them. Second period was one that Coventry had the better of.
It'll be
and
beep,
now the
beep,
third
beep.
period. What's going to come here? Yes, that's right. Here's Calder. Calder's got Colson one way. Soderstrom, instead of going to Jameson, goes to Lewis. Lewis gives it to Colson. Legui got back, but there's a lane and a shot from Carlisle Lewis. Lewis just got away from Jeff Legui there, and he just opened up for him as he cut to the middle.
The Coventry Blaze being able to do what they couldn't do in the first period, and what they've started to do in the second, which is putting passes together, gaining that blue line, and getting good shots through the lanes.
Here's Calder, walks past Desjardins. Lewis drives the net. It's still Adam Calder. Calder still got it at close range, tries to fire one past Jody Lehman. A hand pass and a penalty coming in, and the penalty is a hooking call, and it is on Randy Desjardins. And the Sheffield Steelers in penalty trouble right at the start of this third period.
Let's have a look at that. I mean, I didn't quite see it, Dave. Let's have a look and see if we can pick it up on a replay. But it's one of those penalties, you know, in your own zone, defensive zone, a hooking call. And when the puck was being cleared out of the zone, you can see he's coming, reaching over top of Calder, and gives Calder a little hook down low, and trying to get Calder off his game. But you know, it was right in front of Darnell, and he wanted to call it, so there you go.
Well, just 1 minute and 30 seconds into the third period. Coventry fans on the edge of their seats. This is their moment. Can they tie the game on this power play? This number 7 power play for the Blaze. Here's Weaver, the scorer of the only Coventry goal to date. Weaver's gained the zone. Now the Blaze will set up. But the puck couldn't get to the Châtelet. Savage tried to quickly move it. It doesn't get out only as far as Coulson. Back to the Châtelet, a one-time pass. Calder, oh, it was deflected, and he deflected again. And Calder and Finnerty are battling out in front. Just deflected awkwardly off Finnerty. One-timer Coulson instead sinks low, and he goes to the Châtelet. And now Shepherd has an out all the way down to Perez. Perez quickly moves the puck.
Adam Calder is just so calm and cool on the puck, and he can let a shot go, folks, just from with a 3-inch wind-up harder than anybody.
Well, how important was Ryan Finnerty and Adam Calder, just physical strength there, because if Calder could have just got to that loose puck, 3 foot away was an empty net. 1 minute expired on the power play. The Châtelet chips in. Bassick stands up. Le Gouy should have an easy out, he does. And goes high off the glass. Coventry come though, Yarmison finds Carlisle Lewis. He's got a shooting lane, he takes a shot. He hits the post, Carlisle Lewis. Forsyth throws one at Lehman. Bassick has an out. And he does, he sends it off the glass. Past Forsyth, down to Perez. What a chance, Lewis.
Carlisle Lewis has had a couple of chances in this game to let one rip and get good penetrating shots in on Jody Lehman.
Here's Stewart. I think he's been the most influential player for the Coventry Blaze. Sarridge comes round with venom and meaning. Forsyth. Lewis has planted himself out in front of Lehman's goal. Sarridge will force back to Forsyth. 5 seconds on the power play. Moore's ready for this one-timer. Throws one into the shin pads. The big man Lewis gets it back to Barrymore. Steelers at full strength. Desjardins back on the ice. Talbot has an out, but only clears to the red line. Forsyth will surely send it in, he does. And the Blaze go for a change. Forsyth remains on the ice though.
You talked about Danny Stewart being the player that's been very influential in this game for the Coventry Blaze. And Dave, that's because he's been the one who's given at least the only effort in the first period.
Cruikshank has been a little quiet for the Sheffield Steelers. Watkins throws one off the skate of Carlson. Cruikshank comes back. Desjardins now out of the penalty box. And look at the Coventry Blaze. They're coming hard on the Sheffield Steelers. They're forcing the Steelers, and the Steelers are having trouble clearing the zone. Can Finnerty break? No, he can't. Chance out in front here now for Cruikshank, who gets taken down by Soderstrom. Penalty on Matteo Soderstrom. It's the Steelers' turn on the power play. Let me tell you this, Nick. I didn't think the last one was really a penalty. And to be honest, I thought Cruikshank made a bit there. And I think now Darnell's just calling him, almost for the sake of calling him.
Well, you know, when you drive to the net, folks, it's a great play. And Soderstrom just gets a pace behind Cruikshank as Cruikshank comes in with a little bit of speed. You can see that Cruikshank made a really good embellishment of that one because Soderstrom didn't get enough of him to do that. And I'd give that one a 10.10 because that was a pretty darn good dive. But you know what? Darnell was behind it being screened, and really when you see the effect of Cruikshank coming down and going into the boards, that's what he saw. But if he would have seen it from this angle, he would have definitely given Cruikshank the call for a dive.
I don't mean to be rude, but when I arrived at the Sky Dome and I saw Tom Darnell, I was a little surprised. I expected to see Murray Hansen, Andy Carson. But Darnell got the biggest game of the year. And he's called a lot of penalties both ways. Here's Sarridge, east to west. Sarridge, chance out in front. And it was Joey Talbot on the doorstep, but Perez just followed the puck and made the save. That's what Sarridge can do, can't he? Go east to west just so easily.
Yeah, like that. And, you know, a defenseman coming in and getting the zone and really being untouched. Paul Thompson's going to want to say to his guys, we got to angle him out to the corners. You can't let a guy that big and with that much skill drive to the such a high-scoring place on the ice without being touched.
Shepherd comes in and gets the puck back to Desjardins. Desjardins takes a shot. Perez makes a fine pad save. Steelers rim the puck with Shepherd. Get it back to Finnerty. Gives it back to Shepherd. They got 3 men low though. Bassick, Shepherd. Finnerty wants it. It's not going to go to him though. He goes short side. Finnerty comes and collects. Dowd's just out in front. Here is Robert Dowd. Dowd's going to try and get it back to Bassick. Surely no. Goes back to Finnerty. Shepherd's right in the middle there, but good job by Ross Cowley on both chances. Here's Desjardins. Throws one at the net. There's a rebound out in front. And the Coventry Blaze clear through the neutral zone. Bassick collects. Shepard moves the puck forward. Weaver's going to get there just ahead of Finnerty. But there's two Sheffield Steelers on that one Coventry Blaze player. And Dan Carlson comes out, clears down to Jody Lehman. The Coventry Blaze are now back to full strength. And Dowd brings the puck from behind Lehman's goal. He just chips into the neutral zone and again on a giveaway. If he's not careful, as this game tightens, with the great offensive opportunities that come Dowd's way, but Dowd's going to get set on his backside if he keeps giving the puck away in the defensive zone.
There you go. That's the one play that you wanted him to need, because two times he's come in and he's tried to shovel it out on his backhand and been caught, but there, third time off the glass.
Third time lucky. Calder and Dejanay clash. Calder gets it back, tries to find the big man out in front, which was Lewis, and when Lewis decides he's going to just skate in front of the goalie, there is nothing you can do about it. Jameson skates through his team, takes a hit off Joe Talbot. Bassick moves the puck to the wall. Legui off the wall. Soderstrom's the furthest man back, and Stroderstrom will collect. Carlson on the red line tries to find his mucker Adam Calder, but it was Mark Thomas who brought his side a few seconds. Clears down. Here come Coventry again, this time with Carlson. Phillips steps across him. Now it's Thomas's turn, but it's still Carlson. And again, it's Carlisle Lewis just driving the net. He's just looking for that ugly goal. Lewis again with the chance out in front, and it comes to Calder. Lehman denies him. Oh. What a stop again, Jody Lehman. That was the chance Adam Calder's been waiting for. Here's Finnerty. Chips out. Can Shepard get there? He can. And then there was a little bit of action between Soderstrom and Finnerty. If I was Tom Darnell, I'd just put that whistle away now. Let the players decide for the final 12 minutes, Tom.
Unless you take someone's head off, unless you know what I mean. But yeah, you're right, David. And especially it's a little niggly hooks, and you can see when the player he'll stutter and pull himself back a little bit to try and embellish things. And we just want to see this 5-on-5 for the rest of the game.
No weak calls, Tom, now. No weak calls. Perez comes out. Shepard and Weaver's calm. It's the one thing with Jonathan Weaver, he's just so calm, isn't he, in everything he does. Sarich red line, will try and get it in deep. Picks up his own rebound. Dowd is out in front. Sarich and Forsyth. Sarich has just had his stick slashed in half. He wants a new stick. The message has been sent to Dejanay, and the whistle blows.
Now, on this play here with the Coventry Blaze, Lewis, I think, doing a great job keeping the puck in there with that, and then Carlson finding Calder, and anyway, I mean, everyone was standing up, and you can see Calder tries to pull it around to the far side, but Jody Lehman reading it so well and coming across and making the save. Unbelievable save, folks. This could be a backbreaker. And then the rebound as well, and Thomas doing a good job clearing it out to Finnerty.
Big hit, Hewitt on Forsyth. Yarmison, Bassick, rims the puck. Weaver heads up play, sends it all the way down to Jody Lehman. Lehman plays it first time. Hewitt along the wall to Dowd. Dowd chips in. Much better play by Robert Dowd. Perez. Dowd's in a battle, first of all with Forsyth, then with Barry Moore. Still Dowd. This is where Dowd does his best work. Finds Bassick. Sheffield are just now taking the game a little bit to Coventry, buying themselves a little bit of time. The Chatelet's all over Ashley Tate. They get the cycle going. It's all British line. Puck out in front, but Forsyth clears. As far as Stewart. Coventry chip in. Thomas collects. Has got Bassick one way, but Thomas will skate with the puck and surely make the simple play. He does. But then Hewitt couldn't handle it. Bassick, he just runs off his stick, and then Bassick ends up giving an icing away. Soderstrom touches the puck, and that's because Coventry are forcing the puck carrier.
That's the one that you would give away, David. Right now, Coventry playing really well, both in their own zone, letting, you know, in the first period, they let Sheffield run riot with the cycle. But the thing with that is that they weren't controlled with it, and Sheffield smell good, buddy? They were letting Sheffield come out and getting the good scoring opportunities, but right now they contain them to the outside, which is a lot different. And right now, both teams settling down and saying, guys, we cannot make any mistakes.
I think you just saw one of the great sights in hockey, a full building, and it's full here at the Sky Dome. Chance for Coventry. Legui throws his stick at it. Phillips comes. Phillips hits the red line. He'll chip right through the middle, and Joe Talbot almost just tried to take that. Soderstrom finishes hard. Phillips hard on the back check. First of all on Stewart, then on Watkins. A battle just down below the Coventry Blaze bench. Saric and Legui coming back, but he loses out. Danny Stewart is a tenacious so-and-so Stewart, and we said right at the top of the show that he would be the one that led that emotional charge for the Coventry Blaze, and he has.
He's the only one that didn't take a holiday in the first period.
Perez comes out, it's gone a little quiet in here. We're all kind of catching our breath with just over 9 minutes left. Weaver, though, gains possession, rims one round the boards. Comes to Dan Carlson, Shepherd goes to collect. Barrett, and again another out, and Sheffield not afraid of icing the puck, Nick. When in doubt, glass and out.
You know what, and you've got guys out there like Finnerty and I think Talbot on the far side, but they're or Cruikshank, but they're guys who can win the draws for you, Dave, and that's why you don't mind icing it and clearing it. It just, again, it's both head coaches will say, guys, do the simple things right. Let's not try and force anything. No quick, nice, slick passes. Let's just get the puck out of the zone.
When these two teams met a month ago, Weaver, as he's going to take a shot, and it just rebounds past the post of Lehman. Twice the Steelers led by 2, and it was a goal with only about 6 minutes left that tied it for Coventry. We're getting to that same stage again now. Here's Saric, Cruikshank to his left. Here is Cruikshank. Cruikshank takes a shot, it got deflected, and that was a better save than it looked from Perez as well, because Cruikshank took the shot, slight deflection, and Perez got down well to it. There is Brad Cruikshank.
Cruikshank's so good on his off wing coming in, and he's got that short little stick, and he can look in. He always keeps his head up, make sure he's got a guy driving to net, see what he can do. Here's Jonathan Weaver again doing so smart, just throwing the puck in on net. It takes a deflection, goes into the corner. But then look at Saric dish it out to Cruikshank. Cruikshank looks for the defenseman to come in close, looks for Weaver's just so he can kind of get a screen.
There's Dowd. Bit of a turnover for the Sheffield Steelers. Tate wants it. Tate gets it now on the cycle. Goes behind the goal of Perez. Tate turns on a sixpence per... Oh, Dowd was going to go behind Perez's goal and then changed his mind. So Harmison has an easy out. Goes rink wide. Nice quick pass to Barrymore. Barrymore on his off wing. He's got that quick snapshot. Barrymore drives the crease. A big chance. And I think... Well, I don't know if Lehman even got a bit of that. It all happened so quickly. Ashley Tate, red line. Can he get it in deep? No, he can't, because the Coventry Blaze have worked so hard and they've come back and collected the puck. Get good puck possession. And here they come again. And it's going to be like this, folks, for the next 8 minutes. It's going to be Coventry coming and Sheffield trying to hit the red line and get it in deep and then go and pressure the puck carrier. Here is Lee Jameson. So Phillips is the first man in. Jameson. He's looking for some options. Cowley wants it, and it comes to Russ Cowley as Jarmison just comes off the ice. Cowley chips in, goes to get it deep. Stewart in a battle on the boards. Munn on a backhand, can only get it as far out as Forsyth. Forsyth sends it back in again. And Jeff Legui, just again, off the glass, but he can't clear the zone. How many times have the Sheffield Steelers failed to clear their zone when it had looked relatively easy for an out? I've never done it myself, so I won't say easily, but it looks relatively easy, doesn't it? Here's Jonathan Weaver.
It's cheeky, plays it off the back of the goal.
7 minutes left. Weaver gets it out to Cowley. Munn's going to get to the corner first, and he does, but Cowley pins him. Danny Stewart comes in, tries to get the puck out. He gets it as far as Forsyth, throws it at Jody Lehman. Lehman takes it in the chest, and another face-up in the offensive zone. Coventry throwing the kitchen sink and everything else they can think of at Jody Lehman and the Sheffield Steelers.
It's coming nice and steady at Jody Lehman, and here's Moore with that great pass. He's trying to find Desha to lay drive into the net, and I think no one gets a piece of it except Lehman and deflects it wide. And then here you can see,
oh, how close was that, Nick?
That was super close. Desha Toleda just not being able to get a piece of it.
6:50 remain, third period. Skydome Arena, Blaze 1, Steelers 2. Paul Thompson told us it was.
Call here.
Oh, and we've got to delay the game.
No, he's calling it took a deflection. I mean,
I think that's the cheapest call in hockey as well, isn't it? That delay the game one.
You got to say that it took a piece, even, especially at such a pivotal point. But right now, we've seen the last 15 minutes, Dave, and how things have ticked by. 14. Sorry.
He's been there before, hasn't he? And he'll get his team.
Oh yeah.
What's he got to get extra out of his team right now, Nick?
I mean, right now they've come out and they've done exactly what they want to do, but they'll see the time on the clock tick down, and everyone will just elevate things to another level, Dave, in the next couple of minutes.
I think Coventry just got to be careful not to panic. Just keep on going, doing the things, because they are creating chances.
Oh yeah, lots, and they'll continue to. And like I say, you watch how things just pick up a little bit in the next couple of minutes.
Just saying that is Shepherd and Cruikshank and Finnerty doing good work in the offensive zone of Sheffield, but Soderstrom just ducked out of the way of that, and he feeds Carlson. Carlson, blue line. The big man Lewis drives the net. Bassett looks like he's got him, and he has. And now the Sheffield Steelers will come 3-on-2, and maybe in the next 6 minutes, this is all going to open up a little bit more. As Coventry push and pressure, Sheffield will get those odd man chances.
Well, Dave, the game of hockey, it's ebbs and flows and how it goes, and you play certain styles at certain points of the period. And now with just under 6 minutes to go, things will pick up a little bit.
There's Ben O'Connor, the Coventry Blaze defenseman. And there's his father, Mike O'Connor, doing radio commentary just about 20 feet away from us. Of course, Mike O'Connor is the general manager of the Sheffield Steelers, so split loyalties.
Gnawing on that gum, going through a few packs, eh? A little nervous, eh?
Just a bit. Sarich chips in. Weaver goes to collect. Another barrier has gone. Now we're inside the final 6 minutes. De Châtelet. The pass was meant for Yarmouson. It's collected by Forsyth. And a penalty is going to come. And Yarmouson and Forsyth and Sarich. But Sarich is up to the penalty box.
You know what?
A tripping minor on Rod Sarich. Ashley Tate comes
coming
across.
Up on Sarich. Sarich was stopping up on the blue line looking for the big hit.
I'd have to see that one again. But Tom Darnell has put the whistle away for the third period, and all of a sudden has called a strange one, or has he? Let's see it again.
Well, he's looking for the knee. I think he was looking for the intent, Dave. He was looking because Sarich was stepping up on the blue line, but he was leaving his leg out.
A power play inside the last 6 minutes. Look at David Matzos. He's livid with Darnell.
Because they didn't touch each other.
No.
I'm a little bit confused by it, but you can only say that he was saying it was the intent of what Sarich wanted to do, which was he was leaving his leg out.
In our last Sky game, of course, Rick Strachan and we were almost calling the even up calls by the referee. I wonder if we will get one here. Well, here we go then. The Coventry Blaze. Can they tie it? Can they send this game into over? Could they even win it in regulation? Le Guy just fires all the way out. Corey Nielsen, Steve Thornton, Paul Thompson. They all want a Blaze regulation win here at the Sky Dome. If they're going to get that, they've got to get the equaliser on this power play. Offsides. He's called.
Mental errors like that, Dave, on a power play with just over 5 minutes to go. And I think even Calder's looking at the linesman or saying, who made that call. But you got to make sure you gain the blue line strong with a lot of speed, and you can't go offside there. Is he calling offside?
Yeah, called offside. De Châtelet in the circle. Mark Thomas comes across to Carlson. Doug Shepherd having words with the linesman. It'll be Joey Talbot in the circle. As the song says, drop the puck. And Talbot manages to get it to Shepherd nicely, 2-on-2. The Châtelet collects, and here we go now, folks. Coventry Blaze power play time. 70 seconds on the one-man advantage. And we're inside the final 5 minutes of this one. Sheffield can't clear. They do now. Yarmouson have got his stick to it. Weaver sets up Calder. Carlson surely has to go to the far side. He does. And Yarmouson. Thomas comes across and crushes with Yarmouson. Finnerty comes in hard on Adam Calder. A battle. Coulson gets it back to Weaver. Weaver to tie it. He shoots. Lehman denies. Loose puck. Yarmouson. Yarmouson out in front. De Châtelet. De Châtelet again. And another save. And another save by Lehman. It is unbelievable here at the Sky Dome. I'd go to you, Nick, but you're on your knees then.
Holy mustard jars. That's odd. Unbelievable. I cannot
What was that word
that.
you used years ago on your Sky's commentaries?
I'll never say it again.
Oh, please. For us now.
Holy ectoplasm.
Look at this again. De Châtelet once, twice.
Unbelievable.
But when Weaver got there, I thought it was tied.
I couldn't believe that the Sheffield Steelers were outnumbering the Coventry Blaze while they're killing a penalty on that far wall. And it's either a blood and guts play, but the puck comes out to Weaver, and you get a 2-on-1 with a shot like that, and then Jody Lehman with a save. Deja play on the doorstep, the big melee. Unbelievable.
Jody Lehman has made some great stops. Perez has made some great stops, but I reckon Mark Thomas made a hell of a stop there. 35 seconds. I told you to record it, didn't I? If you didn't record it, you're regretting that now, aren't you? Here's Carlisle Lewis. 28 seconds on the 5-on. Oh, and again Lehman, as they throw it at the net. Lehman makes a save. That man Barrymore, the most experienced hockey player in the Elite League right now. More NHL games behind him than anybody else. And he's the guy who's got that experience. He's been in these situations time and time again.
Dave, I mean, the ice is full of these guys right now. You know, two of the best teams in the league going at it right now for what could be the lead. The Sheffield Steelers, we talked about with a 10-point lead, 3 games in hand. This is one of the games in hand for the Blaze. They must win this.
Forsyth throws it at the net. There's a man in front, and the man who was Carlisle Lewis, and when he's in front, he's stood there, isn't he? You can't move him. He's such a huge man. 23 seconds on the power play. 4 minutes remain in the game. Bassett goes into the corner. Big hit from Lewis, but Bassett was prepared to take the hit. Finnerty. You have to make sure it goes deep, and Finnerty did. Forsyth has it. 5 seconds left on the Blaze power play. Their last power play chance now in this session. Barrymore, Shepherd comes across, back to Ross Cowley. Steelers at full strength, puck out in front, they throw it at the net, and again Lehman makes a stop. Lehman, on his knees, has to get back in his goal, and you can see him just studying the play. Now he gets back on his feet. Here's Finnerty, and we've got offside called. Again, more action in front of Jody Lehman.
Oh, the desperation you can feel right now by the Coventry Blaze, as we all know it's a must-win game for them. They're throwing everything at Jody Lehman. Well,
3 minutes and 4 seconds remain. Tommy Watkins battling down low with Talbot, and Talbot will just try and keep the puck deep. He does, and that puts pressure. Soderstrom comes out in it'll be a couple of minutes before Paul Thompson decides on whether or if he's going to pull JF Perez. Of course, it worked against the Manchester Phoenix when Coventry scored 2 goals in the final 28 seconds of that game. 2 goals in 28 seconds, now will do just nicely for Paul Thompson. Carlson clashes, and now the Sheffield Steelers come. With Tate, Finnerty's the spare man. Finnerty takes a shot. Super stop by Perez. Now it comes the other way. It's Yarmison. Yarmison has got Calder driving the net. Yarmison, still Yarmison, still Yarmison. How many chances has that man had?
that boy can hold on to a puck. Doesn't look that good doing it, but
no. Here's Calder. Calder from an area he scored from 1,000,000 times. Dejanay and Cowley battling away. Finnerty. Nice play by Finnerty. 2-on-1 for the Sheffield Steelers. Doug Shepherd, still Shepherd, and a denial by JF Perez of the highest order. Was Shepherd going to go to Tate? Was he going to take the shot? That's what was going through the mind of JF Perez, and Perez stood tall.
Stood tall, played the 2-on-1 perfectly. Then Sheffield benefiting from the Coventry Blaze, throwing everything but the kitchen sink down low, and they get caught. And it's going to and fro, Dave, and everyone's on the edge of their seats.
Weaver inside the final 2 minutes. Here's Ross Cowley. Gets the puck going to Stewart. This is the line that's caused trouble all night for the Coventry Blaze. Yarmison, and he's got the Châtelet on it now. The Châtelet. Soderstrom sunk low as well. And Sheffield have an out with Jeff Legui, who chips through the neutral zone. Icing's negated. Stewart and Jonathan Phillips, and both finish hard. And Phillips has still got his stick. Stewart lost his momentarily. But now, here comes Weaver. Makes a nice play to the Châtelet, and Dejanay just gets ahead of him. Shepherd has an out and chips off the glass. Gets it back to Soderstrom.
Dave, 5-on-5, the Sheffield Steelers, you got to say, in their own zone, have been absolutely amazing.
Stewart walks round Tate, chips it in. Dejanay goes to get it inside the final minute. Shepherd just loses the puck momentarily. Dejanay off the glass, can't get past Weaver, they throw one in front of Lehman. Perez has gone, there's an empty net. 6 on 5. It worked once before, and it almost works again. It still could, but Lehman's got it. Against the Manchester Phoenix, Thompson pulled his goalie, scored 2 in 28 seconds. He pulled his goalie then, and was it De Châtelet who had that great chance out in front?
Do you know what, Dave? That was just an equally, absolutely unbelievable stop by Jody Lehman. Once again, they're doing the splits, getting the big pad down on the ice. And once again, Jody Lehman is going to be our player of the match. This guy, folks, is still on his head and played.
Are you sure?
Unbelievable.
Are you sure?
Yeah, well, you know, I think he hasn't had a bad game, has he, eh?
Jody Lehman, phenomenal.
Give me another word than phenomenal.
If I could think of a bigger word than phenomenal, I'd give you. You know what? The lad Perez hasn't done bad, has he? And Lehman, outstanding. 38 seconds. Saric gets taken down. Penalty coming in on the Coventry Blaze. And Dan Carlson is absolutely livid. And so is De Châtelet.
I'm shocked.
33
I gotta see
seconds.
this again.
Let's see it again.
He's got to call it. He's got to call it. I mean, it was...
So...
And Carlson's going to get...
And he's thrown his stick onto the ice as well.
Going to get booted.
Out of the penalty box, Carlson gets the early shower.
Dave, heartbreaking to have to make a call like that, but in on Saric down low in the corner, and his stick did get caught in between his legs. Saric goes down, and Darnell was right there, but with 33 seconds to go, you're trying to be aggressive on the forecheck.
Yeah. Well, that's what he's got the 10-minute misconduct for.
And you know what?
2 for tripping, 10-minute misconduct.
I don't know many guys that could have kept their temper for that one. It's just heartbreaking.
So he gets the early shower, no consolation for Dan Carlson. Paul Thompson, he has faith. He's got 33 seconds
5
left.
on 5, just don't have to give it a shot.
Well, 33 seconds, that's an eternity for Thompson. He scored 2 in 28 only a week ago here at the Sky Dome. 32 seconds remain. Le Gui with a face-off win. Sheffield have still got an empty net to shoot at. They've got to put that out of their mind, though. And Le Gui can't clear. And now they can. The Sheffield Steelers had that chance to clear early with Le Gui. Forsyth moves the puck forward to Calder. Calder gets hit. Forsyth again. 15 seconds. Here's Weaver. Throws one into the corner. Adam Calder goes across to get it. Saric and Talbot. Talbot can't quite clear. Now Saric does. 2 seconds, 1 second, and now there's a fight out in front between Munn and De Châtelet. De Châtelet interfered with Lehman. Munn comes in, and now Munn and De Châtelet will finish the game off. And Munn throws a couple of rights. De Châtelet throws a couple back.
And Dave, these
Frustration
guys
call,
they have to play each other another 2 games?
Yeah, 2 more games.
There we go. I'm going to be there.
One to the Sheffield Arena and one to the Sky Dome. Munn finishes De Châtelet off, but have the Sheffield Steelers finished off the Coventry Blaze. 2-1. The Sheffield Steelers beat the Coventry Blaze at the Sky Dome Arena. Lots of reaction still to come. A 2-0 first for the Steelers, a 1-0 second for the Blaze, a scoreless third. Paul Thompson looks on. We'll have a lot to talk about when we come back after the break. The Steelers winning Coventry by 2-1.
Hello and welcome back to the BMI Baby Elite Ice Hockey League here on Sky Sports, where the Sheffield Steelers have extended their lead at the top of the league with a 2-1 win over Coventry. Hello folks, well the Blaze needed to come out on fire. They didn't. And after they did get in gear, well they ran into one Jody Lehman in the Sheffield Steelers goal. And Dave Sims alongside of me. You got to say Jody Lehman put up a brick wall, and the Coventry Blaze shot everything that they could at him, and he just stood tall.
I think what we saw tonight, Nick, was one of the great, not goaltending displays, the great hockey displays in the BMI Baby Elite League. I mean, Lehman was sublime at time, wasn't he? He was just simply and utterly outstanding. He was a one-man wrecking machine. Steelers played well defensively, but when they got through that brick wall of the 5 Steelers defensemen, bang, Lehman just shut the door on them.
Because 5-on-5, I mean, he shut the door of the whole game, and defensively in their own zone, and Coventry just couldn't get that high-powered offensive going.
Well, occasionally you'll see all goaltenders have a 10-minute spell where they look invincible, maybe even a period. But Lehman, first period, second period, third period. You know, Perez had a great game. I thought Perez made some fabulous stops for the Coventry players, but Jody Lehman just blew him away tonight.
Okay.
He was phenomenal.
Right. Now, with regards to the Sheffield Steelers with this win, do you think now it's all over?
I don't think it's all over, but the fat lady's not singing, but she's certainly gargling, you know.
Joey Talbot, one of our ones to watch out here on the power play with the Sheffield Steelers, got things going, and after the first save, he did what he had to do and find the rebound.
Well, he was. When I saw that chance come to him, I thought he'd be disappointed with the first effort, but then he just had calmness and he was patient on the puck, and then he found the line to shoot through. And a great start, because we talked about Coventry starting well, but it was Sheffield that came out the stronger.
They did, and that goal from Phillips coming from behind the goal, really, just that melee in front of net, and it just shows you I think Finnerty actually gets credit for it, just down in front there.
How many times you see Finnerty and Phillips in those dirty situations, though, and they did. You could see how much it meant to the Sheffield Steelers scoring those two quick goals. But then it became the Jody Lehman show.
And that was Jonathan Weaver coming in on the power play. And it was the power play that came from that was that little knock on Jody Lehman, and we said, was it a good penalty or not? It ended up being a good penalty because you know, Lehman had to think about it. But look at Jonathan Weaver, he comes in and with a great shot.
How many times have you seen Weaver do that as well? He always scores in those big, you know, the big games, crucial crunch goals. And I thought Jonathan Weaver, you see what happened afterwards there. It was a bit of shenanigans, wasn't it?
Let's just talk about the way that things started for Coventry. The first 5, 10, 15 minutes of that first period, they had a hard time getting things going. But then, you know, we saw all elements of what makes a hockey game great. Our team's coming back, getting shots on goal, the physical side of things. It really ended up turning into an incredible game for everyone who watched it.
I think we said right at the start, didn't we? It was going to be a battle record, you know, this game. You want to see it again. And it was battles in the corner, battles in front of the goal. You know, yeah, the referee made some spicy calls either way. But it was just a completely first versus second battle. Yep. Everybody, you know, you said at the start of the show, Nick, you know, don't leave anything in the dressing room, bring it all onto the ice, and both teams did. And
one guy who left it all on the ice was our man of the match, and perhaps, you know, he's got his name on an MVP title for not only the Sheffield Steelers, but as you mentioned, perhaps for the league.
I think so. I think Jody Lehman was absolutely outstanding. Close-in saves, long saves. Look at that off Lehman. First save, second save. And that's what he did so well. He didn't just make the first stop. He makes the second and the third stop as well at times. And
we talked about it in Coventry, how this year and even last year, he works on his positional play so well, and he can anticipate what's going on around him better than just about better than any other goalie. He knows what players are thinking.
He's not a conventional goalie. If you look like a Werner or a Reiter, they're very square on there. You know, he's an unconventional goalie. He just finds a way to stop the puck, and he does it better than, at the moment, better than any goaltender in the league right now.
Did you say he's going away somewhere?
Oh, there's a scout and a general manager here from the Danish Elite League. Well, you know what, crikey. Yeah. I think Jody Lehman could be penciled in there. Jody Lehman will earn a lot of money next year, most probably in Europe. And if he gets that money, all power to him. Good luck to him. He'll have deserved it.
All right, Dave. Well, earlier on, you caught up with both head coaches, and here's what they had to say.
Dave, congratulations on the win. Is that a championship winning?
Oh, it was big. I mean, there's still so much to play for. A lot of games left, but you know what, you come into Coventry, and I mean, there was a lot of emphasis before the game of how important it was for Coventry, but equally for us. Not an easy rink to come in and take 2 points out of, and you know, they played well. Lehman was big when he had to be. I thought our D, you know, closed everything down quite nicely in the D zone and made it real hard on their guys, but you know, it's a big road win for us.
Normally it's the Coventry Blaze that come out strong and come out hard. 5 minutes into the game, though, you found yourself 2-0 up.
Yeah, I mean, it happened the last time we were here, and then they had that injection of life for the second and third and really took it to us for the 2 periods. But I thought, you know, it was, you know, the second period there, I think the shots were 17 apiece, so both goalies played outstanding in the second, and then the third, it was just a matter of, you know, let's just keep it simple, make sure they have to skate 200 feet to get our zone, and, you know, we just kept doing it. And again, Lehman was big when he had to be.
He was indeed. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Paul, it was a hell of a game of hockey. Your view on it?
Hell of a game of hockey, Dave. You know, we're deeply disappointed, but Jody Lehman made some saves tonight, and you know, all season he's been doing that for his team, and then the D in front of him were clearing them second pucks, and you you know, I feel a little bit hard done by tonight. I mean, we went 2-0 down in the first 5 minutes, and I think we just a bit of over-exuberance. You know, we were trying to jump and make big hits, but we had chances tonight. But you know, Lehman once again has come back. I think he's playing better this year than he did for us in the Grand Slam year, and that's not an excuse. It's a fact. He made some saves tonight that were just. I mean, we were just shaking our heads on the bench, and credit to him.
Yeah. I have to ask you the question, Paul. Is the championship race this year now Sheffield's? Is it over for you?
No, it's not over. There's a lot of points to play for, Dave. We've got 16 league games to go. You put your foot firmly ajar in the door, if you like, you know, because that was a big win. But no, it's not over at all. We're not going to quit. We got a semi-final on Wednesday. We've got points to play for. This hockey club will never quit.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Cheers.
And now, Dave, you can bring us through some highlights from Sunday's games.
It was a scoreless first period in Manchester against the Panthers, but a breakaway for Alex Dunn on the power play. He shoots and scores, and the Manchester Phoenix are 1-up with less than 1 minute remaining in that middle session. Straight off the face-off, in that final minute of the second period, and Manchester went hunting a second goal. And quicker than the announcer, Andy Costigan, can announce that the Phoenix are 1-0 up, he's going to be saying that they're going to be 2-0 up. Still power play time for Manchester, and it's going to be Lucas Burnett who finally shoots and scores past Michelle Robinson. 2-0 at the end of the second period. An uphill task then for the Nottingham Panthers. Jay Galbraith on a one-timer gets the Panthers back in it. Must-win game for the Nottingham Panthers. They've got to keep in this title hunt. In the 57th minute, Kevin Bergin drives the net, shoots and scores, and we're tied at 2, and it looks like we're going into overtime. Or does it? From behind the goal, off the skate of the defenceman, Bergin, 2 in 17 seconds. Panthers 2-1 down to 3-2 up. Corey Nielsen from his own zone into an empty net. The Nottingham Panthers win 4-2 in Manchester.
And we can have a look at the results from the BMI Baby Elite League on Sunday. Hull beating Cardiff 2-1 down in Cardiff, and we can our score here in Coventry. And then Edinburgh with a win over Basingstoke. That spot, Hull, Basingstoke, and Edinburgh fighting out for that last playoff position is going to be big.
Edinburgh would have got back into the dressing room after beating Basingstoke, all ecstatic, and somebody would have walked in there and said, Cardiff have lost 2-1 to Hull, and the Edinburgh dressing room would have just gone flat because nobody expected that result down in Cardiff. Congratulations to Rick Strachan.
And let's have a look at the BMI Baby Elite Ice Hockey League right now. 69 points, a 10-point lead on second place Belfast. But folks, don't forget about the games in hand. And as Paul Thompson said, no one in this game quits, and it ain't over until the fat lady sings.
No, not at all. Big fixture next Sunday, of course, is that one, Sheffield versus Belfast. A massive game there, but you know, as you just say, 14 games. I think Sheffield have got 17 or 18. Coventry have got plenty to go for there. And what you've just seen on the screen now, folks, those are the home rinks you can go and see it again. That's because a lot of good hockey around.
Because tonight was just an unbelievable hockey game, and you know, I got to say, you know, the Sheffield Steelers have taken a great step towards that league title, but hockey isn't like football where people are already saying that Manchester United have won the Premiership and stuff, but there's still four teams that can make it here, and none of them are going to give up.
Completely, and I think those games in hand on the league standings right now make it look a little bit more lopsided than what it is. But you know, at the start of the show, Nick, we said we hoped that this game wasn't going to let us down. It was going to be the best game of the year between the two biggest teams of the year, and I don't think we were let down, and it shows what a great product this BMI Baby Elite League is.
Awesome. And our next game coming your way here on Sky Sports. Will be on Friday the 13th of February. That's the Hull Stingrays against the Nottingham Panthers, who again, they can still win the league. They got to win every game now, run to the end at 4 p.m. on Sky Sports 3, but it's even a bigger game for Hull.
Well, I was going to say, here we've been at the top of the table, but Hull and Edinburgh now, every game they play, such intensity. You know, I saw the Edinburgh Capitals last night, and they just gave everything that they had, and every time you see
with the Hull-Nottingham game, I mean, Hull upset Nottingham,
completely.
So Nottingham are going to want to try and get some revenge.
And it's hard to win in that rink in Hull. Hull have beaten some big, they've taken some big scalps in there already.
All right, well, Dave, thanks ever so much. We'll let
pleasure,
you go and celebrate. And thank you for joining us here in Coventry as the Sheffield Steelers beat the Coventry Blaze 2-1. We'll see you next time.